Access Sacramento presents Hometown Sports Game of the Week. This program is funded in part by a grant from the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission.
It's been billed as the fracas in Fair Oaks, a showdown matchup featuring two undefeated conference rivals and a battle to be waged on a crisp and festive evening as number 7 Antelope journeys to Fair Oaks to Cougar Canyon to take on number 8 Del Campo and square off tonight on Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Good evening and welcome to Cougar Stadium here on the campus of Del Campo High School, where tonight we have a doozy for you, a marquee matchup. Along with the Imperator of Analysis, Hall of Famer Jim Domino, I'm Will James. We welcome you aboard, and tonight, two undefeated ball clubs. Though they've only played 4 previous times, Jim, they have built up quite a rivalry in a short period of time.
Well, they have, and Antelope has the edge in this series, but you know what? You can throw the record out, Will, as you well know. And, of course, last year they had a Donnybrook, and it doesn't come much better than that last meeting, 31-29 Antelope. And Del Campo came from behind, made a heck of a game, and got beaten in the closing seconds on a field goal. And I know you can elaborate.
Well,
we were there.
Since we're talking about the last meeting, let's go into the last meeting. And yes, it was at Donnybrook. It was staged nearly a year ago to the day over at Antelope, and it was the Titans' homecoming. So, for the last meeting, as the Imperator previously stated, it was Antelope controlling play for the better part of 3 quarters. And then it happened. Under junior quarterback Tyler Domino and the hard-charging run game featuring Greg Cabral, Del Campo chipped away. And let's go ahead and go now to the last meeting, and we'll show you exactly how this one came down the stretch and to what degree it impacted in the final moments. Del Campo, once trailing by 2 touchdowns, and on another occasion by 2 touchdowns, pulled within 28, 22. Del Campo with the football deep in the red zone. They give it to the section's top ball carrier, Greg Cabral, powers in from the 3-yard line to pull Del Campo within 1. Of course, they're going to go for the 2-point conversion on the road. They do. Who else to give it to? High C, Greg Cabral. And he powers up and gets in for the 2, and the jubilant Cougars celebrate, perhaps prematurely, but they have forged a 1-point lead. However, the Ray gun, Matt Ray and his Titans, 1:56 left in this one. They drive down the field, and with just 13 seconds remaining, mass confusion breaks out on a 4th down call over which play to run, which formation to show. But it all boils down to a dramatic clutch 43-yard field goal by Antelope's Isaiah Gomez. Knocks in the 3-pointer, and Antelope holds on for a wild 31-29 victory over the Cougars. We hope that this year's game will have that much excitement. And if we go ahead and talk about the last outings for these two squads, of course, if they're undefeated, they both notched victories.
Well, certainly. Antelope went over to Cosumnes Oaks last week and came away with a 17-12 tough victory. They withstand a great Wolfpack rally and in a huge upset bid. Meanwhile, Del Campo went up to Ponderosa, scoring early and often, had no problem defeating Ponderosa on their home grounds, 56-0.
So both clubs come in 4-0 in the CBC, 7-0 overall, and it's going to take clutch, poised performances by the impact players of both squads to run this one to the wire right down the line. Now for Coach Ray and the Antelope Titans, of course, the Total Titans are center stage tonight.
All right, with the Total Titans, let's start out with Moses Paul and Mahari Roberts. Dynamic duo, great running backs, hard running backs, one of the leading areas in the area in rushing. And then Gabe Thomas, their 2-year starter, who doubles as a wideout and one of the top safeties in the area. Jake Pinola, been on this ball club several years, anchors at linebacker outside D-line as well as occasionally at tight end. And Nick HORSLEY, their 2-year starter at linebacker, one of the top linebackers in the league.
Well, that's quite a group right there, and Coach Ray fully realizes the importance of their presence on this team, and particularly with tonight's game in mind. Now, veteran head coach Mike Domino of the Cougars will counter with his impactors, and those will be the Clutch Cougars.
All right, let's start with the Clutch Cougars at quarterback. Young Tyler Domino, 2-year starter, having a terrific season with 22 touchdown passes, no picks, and almost 1,400 yards. And then let's talk about those 2 running backs because they are tough. Mr. Inside, Mr. Outside. Greg Cabral, last year over 2,000 yards, this year 855. And his running mate, Levi Markey, hard running, bulldozing, 705 yards, 7 TDs. Marshawn Hunter, perhaps one of the better all-around athletes in the Valley, going both ways, offensively, defensively, averaging 25 yards a catch, over 400 yards of receptions, and then defensively, unbelievable stats. 11 sacks coming in here, many tackles, leading the team in almost every category, and he's being highly recruited. And once again, Will, I think he is one of the outstanding 2-way players in the Sacramento area.
I certainly agree, and our viewing audience tonight will have a wonderful sampling of that fact. Well, Coach Ray and the Titans are still kings of the hill in the Capital Valley Conference. They have won 21 consecutive CVC games, but tonight they've got their hands full on the road. It's homecoming night for the host El Campo Cougars. Lots in store for you, including an impending battle on the field. Don't wander off. When we come back, we'll check in with our partner, Rick Stewart, and he has a lot more on tonight's big matchup. Stay with us.
My grandfather served in World War II. Spending time with him were the best memories of my life. I became a physician at VA because of my grandfather, so I can help others like him. I can't imagine working with better doctors or a more dedicated staff. I'm fulfilling my life's mission with the help of my team and thanks to these veterans. I'm proud to be a doctor at VA and proud to honor my grandfather every day. Search VA Careers to find out more.
I tell people I have 3 kids, one of them's adopted, I just don't know which one.
I can't imagine having to be in a birth mother's position to make that choice.
You know, I was kind of just asking her, you know, what is your motivation? Why are you doing this? And she looked at me and she said, because you can give my son a life that I could not.
We always tell her thank you. He is such a blessing to us.
Every day is just a ray of sunshine from him. So we're Chanda and Brian, and we chose adoption.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking, now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? And now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome to the show. We are moments away from the start of tonight's CBC Showdown. Will James and Jim Domino to bring it to you, but we're going to bounce it down to Rick Stewart. He's got more.
All right, thanks, Will. We do have two quality coaches here, one younger than the other one a little more veteran, but they're still top of their game at this point. First, let's talk about the Antelope head coach, Matt Ray. Matt Ray's in his 8th year at Antelope, the only coach they've had in the program. Record for his career, 72-28, 4-0, 7-0 this year. He's reached the playoffs 7 of 9 seasons, 6 of 7 is his record in the playoffs, and he's got 3 league titles for Antelope. Now, let's talk about Del Campo and their coach, Mike Domino. Mike's in his 14th year at Del Campo. He's got 5 years at Hiram, too, so he's got a 20-year coach, very experienced. Here at Del Campo, 116-44 is his record. He's in the playoffs 12 of 13 seasons, and he's got a 13-11 record in those playoff games. He's also got 2 section championships. That's 2006 and 2009. 2009 may well have been his best team to date. This may do that. Now, the series history between these two teams, it's a real one-sided series if you look at just on paper. This series is known for close games, there's no doubt about it. This is the 5th meeting since 2013. Antelope leads the series 4-0, so Del Campo's got something to do. Last 2 years have been solid games. We'll talk about those a little bit later, Will and Jim will. Margins of victory, 2 points, 7 points, 10 points, 7 points. Almost nothing. Close games, but they've been battles. Guys, we'll send it back up to you. Cool, crisp night. Nice night for football. Back to you guys.
Oh, thank you very much, Rick Stewart. And right you are. Cool, crisp, and very exciting run-up to the start of this CBC Showdown. Both clubs come in with 4-0 league marks, 7-0 overall, exemplary seasons, and something has got to give tonight.
Would you all please rise at this time? Please remove your hats for the presentation of colors by your Del Campo High School color guard. Tonight's national anthem will be sung by...
Stay with us. We'll be right back for our opening kickoff when we return.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Well, we're certainly pleased that you're with us tonight. With Jim Domino and Rick Stewart, I'm Will James, and this is Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week. And we have the show down here for Capital Valley Conference contenders. Host Del Campo entertaining tonight the visiting and reigning conference champion Antelope Titans. Let's take a look at the crew appointed by the NCOA to monitor tonight's ball game. Beginning with our game referee wearing the white cap tonight. That'll be Dennis Ward. He's working with umpire Ed Caton. Head linesman Gabe Riley. Dwayne Wolford is the line judge, and Casey Reeve will serve as our back judge. Beautiful evening for football here in Fair Oaks. Very crisp, and the first actual fall football-like weather we've had. And it's with an exceedingly heavy heart that I dedicate this telecast to Big Boy, who passed earlier this week. And for his entire 11-year lifetime career, Big Boy, a.k.a. Best Boy, Biggie, Mr. Confetti, and the Shredder, has been the fastest fielder of all time. We have a penalty assessment before the opening kickoff, and it's going to place Antelope, they're doing the kicking, all the way at the Del Campo 45-yard line. And we'll see if we can amplify on that sequence as we get the information. Here we go, opening kickoff, and this one is going to go about 8 yards deep into the end zone for a touchback. 10. First and 10 for the Cougars, wearing their home white numbers, I should say, and their customary royal blue. Opening at quarterback for the Del Campo Cougars, veteran Tyler Domino. He's having a banner season. And two outstanding running backs, Greg Cabral, Levi Markey. The wideouts, David Joseph and Trevor Bronze. And at the tight end, the aforementioned Marshawn Hunter. Here we go. First play from scrimmage, 1st and 10, movement along the line. Motion. Hunter shifted sides. Left side running, bounce it outside. Nice cut and a good gain for a first down. And right off the bat, number 24, Levi Markey, carries for a good gain outside the DC 30. And let's see where they're going to spot it. Just shy of the 30, I guess. 29-yard line. And we are underway. Gain of 9, 2nd and 1.
That's a nice bounce it to the outside, no hole in the running lane. Bounce it outside, not known for his speed. Markey more of a power runner inside, Will.
A staggered I formation behind Tyler Domino. Short drop, looks left, and he's going to run it now. Cuts it, and takes it right to the near hash mark for a first down as he makes the 34. Gain of 5. They park it at the 34-yard line. Cougars on the move, and now having overcome the penalty to start the ball game on the opening kickoff.
I don't recall getting mechanics on that, Will.
No, we received no mechanics. It's a mystery. Turn and give, left side. Dance the sideline for a nice burst by Cabral, and a nice little slice on first down as they continue to work the left side.
I thought he got a little more, but apparently he went out of bounds there, Will. Picked up about 4, and we're in 2nd and 6 here. Let's see what the Cougars do. As you mentioned, getting decent field position now after starting way back prior.
Well, we've seen that excellent Del Campo offensive line open up running room on 3 previous plays. Domino, Cabral off the right side this time, finds a hole and slashes and he's hit right at the first down marker, but he's going to get forward progress. It's going to be a first down for the Cougars, and they're going to park the football at the DC 45. So this high-powered DC offense that averages 42.7 points per game is just getting started. Good hit at the line of scrimmage. Cabral now 3 early carries for 20. That's a 6.7 average, and that's the first good stop the Titans have had so far. Gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Second and 9. Cougars on the move early at the 10:34 mark. We're just underway and happy you're with us tonight. Short drop, quick fire. He's got a hook up and a little dance. Gets across midfield to the Antelope 49. They're going to be shy of a first, but it's going to bring up that intermediate distance needed for a first down.
3rd and a long 3, almost 4, Will. He had Cabral in motion and hit Cabral on that far sideline or near sideline on a quick hitch. Key down here.
Triple wide receivers to the near side. They run it instead. Levi slashes right, and he's hit at the first down marker at the 45, and we'll see what they want to do with the placement. Possible measurement, I believe.
Very close.
Okay, this Del Campo offense is on the move, and here's the Antelope defense that's going to try to contain a ball club averaging nearly 44 points a game. At the quarterback position, junior QB Nate Lucero, and he's working with a couple of superior running backs, senior Moses Paul and junior Mahari Roberts. By season's end, both of them will have over 1,000 yards. The wide receivers, Leonte Huerta-Moore, Michael Banham, and Mark Chavez at the tight end position. Offensive line anchored by left tackle Jacob Pinola, Martel Gay, punt at center, Daniel Parker, right guard, and Dominic Jeffries on the right tackle position. Antelope is going to put a defense with front 4 that's going to try to contain this outfit. Pinola with 5 sacks at one defensive end, Carter Sullivan at the other. Here's the measurement. Oh boy. Game of inches, is that what they call it?
It sure is. 4th down and inches for the Cougars here early in this football game. And obviously the Cougars are going for it.
The football is on the Del Campo side of the 45-yard line stripe. We're going to call it 4th and more like a foot. Here they go. Turn and give. A big hole. Easy first down. A slash in there. And the carry goes to the Antelope 41-yard line. Cabral getting off fast.
Key first down, 4th down and inches. Cabral picks up about 4 as this drive continues.
Cabral, the returning section leading rusher with better than 2,000 yards a year ago. Not quite on that pace, but still dynamite. 1st and 10, fresh set of downs at the Antelope 41. Tyler Domino turns and changes the formation slightly. Play fake, he rolls under pressure, grabbed and sacked for one of the very, very few times tonight, and we'll credit Carter Sullivan, 18, for leading that blitz, resulting in the sack. His loss is all the way back to the 49-yard line.
Well, that's a big loss now. Puts him in 2nd and long, approximately 2nd and, 18. 2nd and 18. Cougars with 2nd and long to go. No room for Tyler to flush the pocket.
Turn and give on the delay. Dance and juke and split the defenders and lunge forward inside the 45 before being shoved back. A fine individual effort that time as they get back almost to that original line of scrimmage. Cabral getting early work here and running beautifully.
Well, yes, they're just short of the original line of scrimmage, Will. Now it's a key 3rd and 11.
From the Titan 41.
Del Campo in a long drive here using 4.5 minutes of the clock.
Domino to throw, fire right. He's got a hook up, dance to the sideline, cut it inside, and we'll see where they mark that one.
Wow, it looked like it could be short. They're very close.
David Joseph on the receiving end, and we'll see how close. He did a nice bit of running. There were 3 defenders between him and the first down marker, and he strung that pretty nice. He's coming off the field. Cabral back in. Okay, they're going to measure. The yard marker says 4th down. Again, this Antelope defense will be put to the test. We'll take another look at that last effort on the catch and run. Okay, they'll stretch the chain. Let's see where they mark this one. And they say this one is only 3 inches short instead of 6. Okay. So it's going to be 4th and the length of a hand. And who can say who's going to get the call on this one? They have converted twice now. Actually, they've had 3 first downs in this drive, 2 of them clutch conversions. Now, whistles are going to prevent this play, and it's a timeout for Del Campo. They want to make sure on this. So the timeout interrupts action, and again, a reminder, it is homecoming night here, and we've got a huge crowd, lots of standing room, a very festive occasion on a beautiful evening for football, but the heavy drama is down on the field.
Well, here we have, we hear that good band and the good music playing as Coach Mike Domino is huddling in his group. Once again, we got 4th and inches. The Cougars using up almost 5 minutes on the clock here, Will, on this drive. And this is what they want to do. They like to run, dominate, and use good clock management and then play tough D. So holding the ball this long away from Antelope, is a good thing. So once again, let's see if Antelope can stop them this time. 4th and inches.
We are nearing midway first. We're at the 7:07 mark. No score yet. Del Campo on the move, and they've held the football since the opening kickoff. Turn and give, left side running. Cabral turns the corner, big speed. Don't think they're going to get him. Touchdown Cougars on a burst from 31 yards. Greg Cabral.
He bounced that outside and showed that speed, didn't he, Will?
Oh, yeah. At the 7-minute mark, the Cougars take a 6-0 lead. Here's how.
Cabral hits inside and then goes to the outside, and he's off to the races, outrunning that secondary very easily.
So on for the PAT. Jacob Ray, but whistles will prevent this conversion. And we'll wait for referee Dennis Ward to clarify for us.
We'd like to see some mechanics coming our way.
That would be nice. Truthfully, I think that would be just super. Okay. Illegal substitution against the Titans. Penalty declined. Ray up there to try to chip it home, and he's missed only 1 all year out of 47. Line drive pulled wide left. and they leave one on the board. But the Cougars strike first at home on homecoming to lead it 6-0. Don't wander off. We'll be right back for more of the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Facing life's difficulties takes strength and determination. Whether it's physical challenges or struggles you can't see, it takes strength to ask for help when you need it. Learn how other veterans have reached out and hear their stories of strength and recovery at maketheconnection.net.
Del Campo Cougars draw first blood, a 31-yard burst by speed back Greg Cabral. They missed the PAT, so they settle for the 6-0 lead and prepare to kick off. And Ray puts a foot into it, a high but somewhat short kick. Taken outside the 5. And loose on the near sideline, jerked down near the 25. And this is going to be a spirited game. Alejandro Torres with a good run back, and it produces pretty good field position for the visitors. 20 yards on the return. And we thank our executive statistician, Mr. Gary Martin, for crunching our numbers tonight. So 1st and 10 Titans park the football at the Antelope 26.
Well, here comes Antelope, and Coach Ray, through the years, is known for his gadget plays. Will he pull one right off the get-go? But he's got a ton of confidence in those two running backs, Roberts and Paul, who have 1,500 yards between them, Will.
They do indeed. Junior QB Lucero sends him in motion, and they swing it out to the left flat. A nice completion and a good run after that, turned in by Gabe Thomas. First down yardage. Let's set that Antelope O. Lucero at QB, and those two top running backs, Paul and Roberts, where to more, one of the wideouts, Bannon the other, and the tight end, Mark Chavez. The interior line anchored by PINOLA and GABE, veterans, and they'll have their hands full tonight against a very, very tough defensive unit for the Cougars. From the 38-yard line, after a gain of 12. Short yardage running, strung out. Hunter with the tackle on the play as Moses Paul bangs for 3. 2nd and 7 upcoming, clock rolling, 6:10 to go, midway first. Well, the Del Campo defense has been awesome. They average giving up just 6 points a game. There's 4 linebackers, and we'll freeze that for a minute because we got a play. It's going to be snapped off right now. Lucero to throw, left side completion, and a dive to the flag. Nice effort there to try to get the first down yardage. And Torres, 2 receptions so far in tonight's game. This Del Campo defense yields just 6 points a ball game, and they have a nice outfit that has issued 32 sacks and has compiled 10 interceptions and 6 fumble recoveries. Major, major challenge for Lucero and this Antelope offense. Single wideouts left and right, backs are split, turn and give. Paul.
Well, a good second effort. He looks like he's going to move the chains. Well, he got hit about a half yard behind the line of scrimmage, but it looked like his progress is enough to move the chains.
Antelope would try to have the type of ball game where they control time of possession and keep that very potent DC offense off the field, and so far they're doing a good job. 1st and 10, football at the Antelope 49. Motion in the backfield. And a whistle is going to bust this play. Penalty marker dropped. And a little confusion on.
5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Thank you, Dennis. Dennis Ward, our game referee, -5 against the Titans. Pushes Antelope back to their own 44-yard line.
I think Coach Ray wanted to call a timeout there. I know he was somewhat reluctant to use a timeout this early in the first half. However, not quick enough.
Motion down the line by Chavez, the tight end. He switches ends. Low snap, turn and give. Right side running. They go to the speed back, Keith Brown, and there's nowhere for him to go.
Marshawn Hunter hunted him down real quick like. He's as fast as most running backs. Will, and you showed that.
No, he's special. So they spot it at the 40. They lose 4 on the play, make it 2nd and 19.
Well, you know now Coach Ray will go to the air more likely here and run that draw, or perhaps even his famous double pass.
Well, they have a penchant for using trick plays, gadget plays, surprise plays. I don't see that this game will be any exception to that. Let's wait and see. Chavez changes sides at the tight end position under center Lucero. Play action pass over the middle, overthrown on a well-covered, oh my goodness. 3 penalty flags are thrown, a few counts after that play concluded. That was an uncatchable pass. And Dennis Ward, I think, is going to have his hands full this evening.
Pass interference against the 15-yard penalty.
Well, did they actually go the wrong way? Okay, I guess he's got it straightened out.
Interference. Defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains second down.
Okay, 2nd and 4 now from the Del Campo 45 after the 15-yard penalty. Big break for Antelope. Turn and give. Paul, left side, looking for daylight. There is none. All blue. Well, I guess they're going to give him a yard on the play. Third and 2.
That's amazing. I saw no forward progress. Did you, Will?
No, I didn't. But, you know, we're up here in the box. I understand that. But, oh, my goodness. From the Del Campo 44 with clock rolling at the 3:50 mark. On the flip side of quarter number 1, Del Campo on top 6-0. Antelope on the move. A toss. Left side running Roberts. A cut and a burst. And one of their better runs on the day, a first down for the Titans as they drive deeper into DC territory. They spot the football at the Cougar 36. So they get 8 on the play.
Good surge by the left side of the Antelope line. Gay, Pinola, center punt, and a good burst of feed. Robert showed me some speed turning the corner there.
And whistles are going to halt this play. Evidently some confusion on the Del Campo substitution.
Apparently there's an equipment problem. I don't know what the equipment problem is, but number 15 got taken off the field.
Motion in the backfield. Lucero wants to throw. He's got a man open. A big bomb inside the 5. Over the top of the DC secondary, and credit one of their main men, Gabe Thomas, for the reception on a well-thrown pass.
Thomas for the first and goal Titans.
So the DC secondary gets stung. Let's take another look.
There's Thomas all up by himself downfield. Wow, he was totally open.
Bronze finally did the cover up, chasing to down him. 28 yards on the catch and run. So timeout on the field. Well, Jim, there's always important factors to consider, especially by the analysts, in terms of keys and matchups and what we would consider intangible factors that definitely can influence a game and shift momentum.
Well, they certainly are, and we're ready here as run versus run, and we're seeing a lot of that today.
We certainly are. Top backs.
Both teams featuring outstanding running backs, Will. Their clock moving. We haven't seen too many passes thrown, but we saw a big 28-yarder there to Thomas down the field all by himself.
And let me correct myself. Actually, it was a 34-yard play to get deep inside the 5. And after this timeout, we'll see what happens. Lucero now 3 out of 3 through the air, a couple of short hitches and then that longer pass, and he's totaled 45 passing yards. So we come down to the first goal line play, and now head coach Matt Ray evidently would like to further discuss the Titan options.
Well, I can't read lips, but I believe the crux of the matter was Del Campo was trying to get a timeout to get an extra person on the field, and they wouldn't call timeout. Apparently they didn't hear the bench request.
So back onto the field come the Titans, trying to get into the end zone to tie and hopefully for them take the lead with a successful conversion. Lucero taking excessive time here. Finally, referees whistle to start the play. They blast straight ahead, shoved back at the goal line. Moses Paul could not reach pay dirt.
Second and goal. They're only looked like within a yard, Will.
That was a nice stand right there. Antelope, of course, I'm sure would take all the remaining chances on this series to get it in. Turn and give. Right side blast, touchdown Titans, Moses Paul from 1 yard out. Nice little line surge there to create that opening.
Parker and Jeffries on that side of the line leading the charge for the Titans. Crashing over, PAT here could put them ahead.
Spotted, booted, on the way, bullseye at 2:41, late first. Antelope answers the DC touchdown with one of its own, and they convert, and that's how they done it. We'll be right back. Don't wander off. This one just getting warmed up.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
David Joseph comes out strong on the ensuing kickoff and puts Del Campo in good field position to start their second possession. And they're going to spot his run back at the 38-yard line. Nice job by the senior slot receiver.
Well, let's see what Del Campo could do. They ran 5 minutes off the clock in their first drive, scoring on a nice run by Cabral skirting left end. And here they are down 7-6 after Antelope went on a beautiful drive, Will.
Okay, up to the line come the Cougars. Tyler Domino under center. They run off left tackle, and it's bottled up pretty good, but it's still going to be about a 4-yard run. They're going to spot it at the 42. So we'll give him 4 on the play, 2nd and 6. The last scoring drive consuming 4 minutes, 19 seconds by the Titans. They go 74 yards in 10 plays, capped off by the Moses Paul 1-yard run. Okay, 2nd and 6. Domino wants to pass. He's pressured and sacked. They sent extra people led by Sullivan, and that would be Carter Sullivan. Torrey's helped out.
Well, that's a second sack for Tyler Domino in this football game, and coming into this game, I don't think he's only been sacked 5-6 times this season. He got 2 on him this time, and good surge in there and pretty good coverage in the secondary as well.
3rd and 11 as they lose 5. Back to the DC 38-yard line, closer to a 4-yard loss. Double wide receivers to the near side, but again, that familiar sound of whistle stopping play.
Delay a game.
Delay a game.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
3rd and 16 from the 33. A sticky first quarter, so to speak, despite each club driving for a touchdown. The defenses have been showing off to some measure, and the officials have too.
Yeah, I second that motion because we've had delays of games. We've had mechanics failures.
Equipment problems. So here we go. Key 3rd down and long. Domino, deep left side, going for Joseph. Overthrown. It looked like he broke his pattern and slowed up a little.
It certainly did.
4th and 16. And a probable punt for the Cougars. And they'll leave that in the hands of Jacob Ray. 2 for 3 for 15 yards. Through the air for Tyler Domino. A modest start here in the first with 1:05 left. Well, I think this is going to be one of those familiar warm-up quarters for both clubs.
Well, I hope so in some ways because I'll tell you what, he's under pressure, and Antelope is really putting the heat on him.
Good snap. Short but high punt. Not returnable. Fair catch called for and taken. Nice job there by Gabe. And Gabe Thomas certainly has been a standout in the first quarter. 34 yards on the punt, no return.
Well, he certainly has collected that long one and doing a real good job covering in that secondary at safety. Gabe Thomas, 2-year veteran, one of the key players in that Antelope O&D.
Good field position for the Titans at their 34. Less than a minute remaining in the first. Let's see how they handle it from the I formation. Lucero hands off, left side running, strung out and shoved back after a gain of 2 or 3. Lots of gang tackling in tonight's game so far. I mean, virtually every run play has been a mob scene.
Yeah, that's 4, 5, 6 tacklers on every play, and good team pursuit by the Cougars. And certainly they're going to have to put some heat on quarterback Lucero, who's having a good night thus far.
Gabe Paul with, I should say, Moses Paul with that last carry. He's getting plenty of work. About 3-to-1 ratio over his running mate Roberts. And we'll see if that remains the same. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
apparently an equipment problem with Stout.
So from the 37-yard line, a 2nd and 7 ready to unfold here for the Titans. On top by 1 at 7-6. Turn and give, left side running. The speed merchant breaks free to midfield and a little bit more. Keith Brown.
Well, he's a recent transfer that Coach Ray is very high on.
He certainly is, and I can understand why. A very explosive player. And they've got quite a run game with that trio.
They do. Brown with a burst of speed.
17 yards on the carry. 1st and 10. And I don't know if they'll get this play off. They do not. We have played one. 7-6 Antelope in this CVC showdown, and
we've reached the end of quarter number 1. Your score at Cooper Canyon, Antelope 7.
a beautiful evening tonight in Fair Oaks. Perfect football weather, and so far a tantalizing 7-6 game after 1. Let's join Rick Stewart for more on this game. Rick?
All right, it's a close game. I've got Jen Houck-Mahoney here, the cheer coach here at Del Campo. First and foremost, how many people in your program, and how long have you been here?
This is my 12th season here at Del Campo. 12th season coaching the cheerleaders, and they're great. I love it.
How many in the program?
There's 34 in the program total this year between JV and varsity.
And you're taking part in competitions as well around the local area?
We actually host a competition here at Del Campo High School in January. It's a regional USA qualifier to go to nationals.
Wow, so it's not just the athletes on the field, it's athletes everywhere, student athletes on the cheer squad. Do you have anybody here at in the homecoming court?
I do. I have Emma Johnson on the homecoming court.
Oh, there's our semi-official favorite then, of course. And how do you keep people interested in the program?
Well, I mean, you got to love cheer. You have to have the heart of a cheerleader. It's definitely 2.5 seasons worth of a lot of work, and we work hard here, and they're great. They do an amazing job in sidelines and in competition.
Outstanding. Well, thank you, Jen, for taking a couple of minutes with us, spending some time with us. Guys, we'll send it back up to you.
Thank you, Mr. Stewart. Lots of preparation goes into any homecoming activity, and that is an understatement for Del Campo. Meantime, 1st and 10. They switch ends of the field, so now Antelope in their road whites working right to left from the DC 46. Turn and give. Boom! Greeted after a 1-yard run.
Well, welcome to that dive club. Moses Paul gets hit head up right as we take a look at that big hit by the linebackers core. That's a pretty good linebacker core he's facing there with Cisneros, the 3-year veteran, along with Aguilar, etc.
Paul, a real workhorse so far early in the game, 13 carries for a meager correction. 7 carries, 13 yards, about 2 a crack. Okay, they run wide right, and they turn the corner and bite off a little bit, but they're going to be well short. Torres with the carry, and it was pretty well contained, and it's going to bring up 3rd and about 5.
He did pick up a couple there, and it's a key 3rd down. And knowing Coach Ray would not surprise me once again to use this almost like 4th down territory, even though he's not in the red zone.
Yes, his game management is going to be very key for them this evening, and thus far he's doing a beautiful job. Out of the gun, Lucero looks left all the way, a bullet over the middle, incomplete.
Wide open.
A juggling opportunity, and they were trying to go to Brown on the play, and that would have been bad news for Del Campo had he held that.
Very definitely. I'll tell you, he was wide open. The middle was wide open. I wouldn't doubt if he comes back with that play. I don't know where the linebackers were. Now he's bringing in the punt team, and this is a bit surprising. So the Cougars have got to be very careful. The up back protector is number 32. The ball could be snapped to him since it's only a 4th down and 6. You've got to be very careful on defense here.
That sounds like a play Antelope could use. Let's take a look. They show punt, and they do punt under heavy pressure, a delay to allow downfield coverage. Is that a penalty marker I saw fly? Anyway, it's downed for a touchback, but I see a flag out here on the Del Campo 35.
Well, he's, no, they downed it inside the 5 on about the 3-yard line.
So we'll see what Dennis Ward has to say. Meantime, Lucero, 3 out of 4 for 45 through the air. We're just into the second quarter here at Del Campo High School, and here's the call.
Holding the call against the Cougars.
Yep. Major penalty.
Well, that's going to be half the distance. That's going to put the ball down inside on the 1-yard line. Wow.
Well, there you see a good tight shot of 4 of our 5 game officials from the NCOA, and here's Dennis Ward.
Kick. We have hold on the receiving team. Half the distance to the goal line.
Inside the 20.
First down.
Wow, very dangerous position here with the ball down, looked like down on the approximately the 2, maybe the 1.
Well, it's always jeopardy when you're in that spot on the field, and we'll see how Tyler Domino and the Cougars handle it. Nice delay there, and it's a big gain out across the 10 to the 15-yard line. And Markey, I'll tell you, Levi was hard running on that play.
Well, Markey moves the chains and getting them out of a very difficult position there. That was a key run by Markey, and he gained another 5 after contact, Will, and we watched him early in the season. Very strong running, hard running back.
At the 15-yard line with a big first down, a key first down. Motion down the line in that Cougar backfield. Mix up in the backfield, and Markey bumps into quarterback Tyler Domino, and it disrupts the play.
Markey, the ball carrier. Horsley there for the Titans. 2nd and 9.
One of the Titans' top defenders, credited with the stop, Nick Horsley.
Well, I'm seeing Torres in there. He's playing a key role on both sides of the football, getting there.
23 yards on 5 carries for Markey. This time they run Cabral off the right side. He takes a few shots on a 2nd and 9.
Cabral right side. Torres and Horsley there.
So he gains about 4 or 5 on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd and a long 4 with the football parked at the 20. Tyler Domino back to the Cougar huddle from a brief conference at the sideline. 3rd and essentially 5 to go. Early here in the second, 8.5 to go. He wants to pass, has time, got a man wide open. Look at that speed from behind. And a TD saving catch-up tackle.
Bronze with a big gainer. He put that ball on the money.
That was well executed, 79 yards. Domino to Bronze, and it's going to set up the Cougars inside the 5. We'll call it the 4. 1st and goal from the 4 at the 8:21 mark, and that straightened him out a little.
Well, yeah, I thought for a minute he overlet him.
Power formation, turn and give, a slip
wow.
on a cut. Cabral planted his right foot and just slipped out from under him. I'm wondering now if there's moisture on the field from this lower temperature tonight. It's football at the 5-yard line.
2nd and goal on the 5.
So they lose a yard on the play, but
Wow.
they're still set up beautifully here. Matoyer into the ball game, flanked left, inside Joseph. Domino rolls, looks, fakes it, runs it to the flag, touchdown! On a 5-yard rollout sprint, Tyler Domino puts Del Campo back on top.
Nobody open. Took it on his own.
A lot of poise there to not throw into traffic. There's a gallant warrior there, and we'll take another look. Coming right at the camera. Nice coverage, guys. So they line up for a conventional PAT from Ray out of the hold of bronze. They failed their first time. It was not well executed. Spotted, booted, and got it. At 7:23, nearing midway second, Cougars back on the board, and Del Campo leads it 13-7. Don't wander off. We'll be right back.
Gaining weight was easy. All I had to do was sit down and eat. Losing weight's a lot harder. I have to work at it every day. But with every step, I lower my risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And that makes every step, every choice, every day very much worth the effort.
Learn how you can help stop diabetes by losing weight, eating healthy, and staying active. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES.
Well, a little seesaw here at the Fracas in Fair Oaks, and a showdown for sole possession of first place in the Capital Valley Conference. Del Campo back on top. The big play setting up the short TD, and a pooch kickoff to the right side, bobbled, picked up, boom. Still going to be good field position though. The pooch kick, I just don't know, but that's not my department, but they sure give away a lot of yardage.
Well, they certainly do. They're putting the ball on about the 34-yard line. You know, again, I'm not a big advocate of the pooch either, Will, and sometimes it bounces in your favor. 30, I guess, to 33.
Big crowd on hand on both sides of Cougar Stadium here in Fair Oaks at Del Campo High School. It's homecoming here, but more prominently, the game on the field, the rivalry, and a battle for first place here in Week 8. Titans back with the pill. Lucero rolls, fakes, keeps, throws, incomplete. Wide open, a low throw that would have been a pretty good gain to Leonte Huerta-Moore.
He did, and he had to flush the pocket. Apparently, you know, Lucero started out great in the first quarter. I believe he was 3 for 3. It looks like he's getting a little more pressure on him now.
Yes, he was well protected early on, and his first 2 passes were very safe, short throws to the flat.
Yes, and that ball should have been caught, though, Will. That was catchable.
2nd and 10 from the Titan 33. 7:11 on the clock here, nearing midway second. Out of the gun, Lucero hands off, a bump in the backfield, and short yardage, but a good effort after a busted play, you might say. And it's Roberts with the carry. So
don't tell me we got a mess.
Oh, we have a penalty marker down. And we'll wait and see. I see a block in the back. Picked up by one of Dennis Ward's crew. And there you see the
Block in the back. Offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat, second down.
Thank you, Dennis. Well, 2nd and 20. And we'll put it at the 23. Is that right? At the 20, huh?
Ball on the 20. Okay, let's see what that Cougar defense comes up with here. Not good field position with Antelope. I'm a little surprised they're getting away from that run game, Will.
And whistles are going to prevent play here.
They got to call a timeout. They're short a man.
Yep. It was a late player running off the field. And Coach Ray, as you see there, not happy about his team's recognition there. And he had to spend a timeout to prevent another penalty. So we're frozen at 6:41, nearing midway, second. 13-7, you see veteran mentor Mike Domino along that Del Campo sideline. Massive success throughout his career. 2 section championships and a stellar leader and head football coach. Well, when Del Campo got this new turf and lighting, it changed the entire complexion of Del Campo football here, and it's been a real joy. And we're going to thank Sharon Props, the Del Campo AD, for taking care of our accommodations so wonderfully, as she always does.
Well, I'll jump on that. I agree with you totally. Sharon, head softball coach, athletic director, does an outstanding job. She's really involved.
And looky here, flags fly. I won't even anticipate the call, but Lucero now 3 out of 5, including that drop for 45. Offside against Del Campo. They give back 5. Paul is 7 carries for 13. And Brown a couple carries for 17. Most of it on the one burst. He was thrown for a loss on another carry.
That almost looked like Roy Johnson wearing a different number, but we'll have to check on it, Will.
2nd and 19. Yeah, we will check. Football to 24. Midway second. A sticky first half so far. Brown looked like he wanted to throw, keeps it, steps away from traffic, and crosses the 25 to the 30. He gets back some real tough yards there, but it's going to bring up a 3rd and still about 16.
We know that was a very impressive run, Will. He was trapped, and I'll tell you, he's very elusive. He's got speed and he's got moves, and I can understand where Coach Ray was coming on strong with him to you, wasn't he?
No doubt. Oh, yes, he's very happy to have Keith Brown, and he's going to be a key part of their offense. So 3rd and 15, low snap, Lucero pressured and sacked. 24, lead by Markey, and another penalty marker dropped. If that stands, it would be his 5th sack and Del Campo's 33rd. But the way this game is shaking out, let's take a listen here. Oh, my. So it's a hold against Antelope. They decline, and personnel shift on the field. Punt formation upcoming for the Titans.
I think we got to supply some mechanics from our booth, Will.
We love mechanics, Jim. Okay, so Matoyer in single safety as a punt returner. No gadget. A wobbly line drive. Matoyer falls down and lets it roll. Picks it up and dropped immediately at the 45. Well, I guess you could say he was just trying to make something happen, but fortunate to hold on to the pill.
That's what gives coaches gray hairs, Will. Stuff of that kind of handling.
34 yards on the punt. And good field position upcoming for Del Campo at the DC 45. Tyler Domino and the Cougar offense back onto the field. Last time they drove it 99 yards in 6 plays, covering 255. Let's see about this time. Cabral, left side. Pretty good push for about 3. And a pancake block 15 yards from the line of scrimmage deep in the secondary. And oh my
goodness. N.A.
Alan N.A. He took that blocking assignment seriously. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Quick hit right side to Bronze. Work the sideline. Midfield, 40. Banged out of bounds. And another penalty flies. Gabe Thomas with the tackle. And Dennis Ward will explain this again.
But they had their 12th man didn't get off the field on the far side.
Well, this has been a penalty marred first half, and we still got 5 minutes remaining. I'm trying to just recall how many penalties we've had, and I'd say there's probably at least 7. Dennis Ward.
We got holding on the offense. We got illegal substitution on the defense. Replay the down.
Okay, offsetting penalties, replay the down, and a penalty on the substitution. We've kind of seen some of that before, huh?
Yes, we have. Yeah, he just, you know, nothing can be reminiscent.
Okay, finally the ball is placed at the original line of scrimmage. Offsetting penalties. We're ready to rock. And DC has the pill. Triple wide receivers to the near side. Motion. Cabral, handoff the other way. Against the grain. Power it up. First down, Cougars on some hard running again by Levi Markey. Del Campo with an explosive offense, well balanced, but averaging 312 per game rushing. Quick snap. Cabral working left, speeds around the corner, turns on the heat, penalty marker out, but he runs for about 30. I think we've had a penalty on 6 straight plays.
I don't know what's going on with the sideline officials there, but did we have an illegal block take place, or we're going to find out here. Holding.
As I was saying, a penalty marred first half. We're going to reach double figures pretty quick here, and Dennis Ward again will explain.
Holding. Offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat, 3rd down.
My. Okay, they get docked 10. Replay 3rd. Motion by Markey. Big rush, big blitz, short pass, complete. Here's a burst. Look out to the end zone. Touchdown Cougars on a catch and run. Turned in beautifully, David Joseph with the big play.
That is a great call on the rush with that screen to Joseph, and he showed us the burst he's capable, Will.
Back-to-back touchdowns stretch the DC lead now to 19-7. And they're going to go for 2 to compensate the botched PAT on their first touchdown, but whistle stop play, timeout Antelope. So Coach Ray definitely wants to prevent further scoring here and hold them to a 12-point edge, but the Cougars, on the strength of Tyler Domino passes, have now clicked for some big plays. Here's the latest.
There you see that screen off there to Joseph, and he's turning on the speed, and goes past, and a late hit there in the end zone to no avail.
Gabe Thomas, tough customer, late on the tackle, TD Cougars, and you see 4.5 to go here, flip side of quarter number 2.
Well, in all fairness there, I understand Antelope not being ready for a 2-point play, having their PAT team on the field, and certainly Coach Ray didn't want to give up 2 points real quick and it was certainly worth the timeout on the part of Antelope.
Well, you can see it's comfortable here at Cougar Canyon for 58 degrees, just a slight breeze. Humidity's up, and the visibility, as usual during our game of the week, clear as a bell. 3 plays covering 55 as DC tries to go for the 2 to make 21. Turn, give, Cabral at the goal line. They might have to unpile him. And he did not get in. So the Cougars score again, but again cannot convert and settle for the 19-7 lead. We're going to come back in a short 30 as this game continues to find rhythm.
What if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow.
My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
Well, we're happy you're with us tonight for Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week, and things are warming up out here in Fair Oaks in a battle for first place in the CVC. 2 undefeated teams. Del Campo hosting Antelope. Right now, the host Cougars in charge. A pooch kickoff taken at the 33-yard line and advanced to about the 35 on the run back by Dimitri Whittington. So, good field position again, given to the Titans.
On the pooch. And so we see now, apparently, Del Campo's got a lot of respect by Torres and company, Paul and Roberts returning the ball. So apparently they don't want to give up a big play. And so I'm sure that was their strategy during the week, despite our philosophy on the pooch, Will.
Here we go. Backs are split behind Lucero, and they show motion down the line. Turn, give, right side running, and Paul is blasted after a 1-yard gain. The last scoring drive for DC, 55 yards in just 3 plays, covering just over a minute to stake them to the 19-7 lead. So they park the football at the Antelope 37. They give him 3 on the carry. We'll call it 2nd and 7.
Well, we're going to see play action pass here. Coach Ray brought his quarterback to the sideline, so we're going to see something here, a little more in the gadget, and we'll see if that double pass comes along here sooner or later. We got
Lucero under center, motion down the line. They toss to Roberts with Paul out in front. It's stacked up and destroyed. The power sweep really didn't get going there. Excellent defensive containment. And we're going to extend due credit on that for the stop, David Cruz.
Key down here for the Cougars as well as Antelope. If they're going to sustain this drive with 3:09 on the clock, Will, they're going to have to put something in effect, and they got 60 yards to go here, and when will they start throwing? There's another timeout.
Yes, whistles stop play. Well, it's a chess game between Matt Ray of Antelope and head coach Mike Domino of Del Campo. They're moving the pieces around, and there's a lot of brain trust going on leading these two teams. There you see part of that Del Campo sideline area.
Well, Coach Gottfried really has been with Coach Mike for a long period of time. He's the defensive coordinator. And look at these matchups here tonight. We're seeing two great run teams going against each other. Big play Hunter, we're seeing making plays all over the field. A tough job for the Titans secondary. And then the Cougar defense, which started out a little slow in the first quarter, seemingly has come alive in the second quarter, Will. And when will we see the next gadget play coming from Antelope particularly?
Let's wait and see. We might not have long to wait. Motion down the line. They run it, and it is stacked and close to the first.
They're short about a half yard.
Well, they unpile them, and Roberts with the carry. And let's see the spot.
Wow. Huh. That's a little closer than I thought.
Total offense at this point in time for Antelope. They've run 20 plays, good for 84 yards, 4.2, down from their first quarter totals. DC, on the other hand, 23 plays for 220 total yards, 9.6 on the average.
What we got Coach Ray is very capable with fourth and inches here to throw the football.
4th and 1, and whistles bust this play as well. Okay, so Del Campo flips it and calls a timeout. They might want to readjust their defensive alignment.
They were in a 2-on-1 situation here, and Coach Domino is not very happy about that. He's letting them know about it because they had an uncovered receiver out here.
And they just did get that timeout called, so quick on the spot for Coach Mike Domino and the Cougars, who right now leading it 19-7. Well, the run game has been so amplified in tonight's contest so far, even though Tyler Domino has been showing off through the air. But both ball clubs have some terrific running backs, Jim.
Well, they do. And as you look at Greg Cabral coming into this game with 885, he's had a good first half. Moses Paul close to him. And then Levi Markey running hard inside. And Amari Roberts also having a good night. Those are probably the four best backs in the league, Will.
4th and 1. Is this time for the gadget? They sneak and apparently have enough. Lucero spun out of there and reached the 45, moved the chains, first down Titans. It's at the Antelope 45. So the timeout does not prevent a Titan first down. However, it did prevent them going to an uncovered receiver. So break huddle, clock rolling with 1:50 to go here in the first half, and they overload the right side with 3 receivers and now show motion. Brown cannot get outside. No gain as he's blasted out of bounds in front of the Antelope bench. Keith Brown.
Well, I don't think he got out of bounds, Will, because the clock's running. And they ran double motion this way, and plus a shift, forcing Del Campo to defend the wide side of the field, and they pitched to the short side. So, a lot of deception on that. They tried to get the Cougars going the wrong way there and came back to the short side of the field.
And he did not get out. Clock has rolled, and we're just about at 1 minute to go in the half. Lucero looks right. Sideline lob, broken up by David Joseph.
Well, he very well could have had himself a pick there. It'd be a crucial pick. The intended receiver, Leonte Huerta Moore, was pretty well covered on that sideline. It looked like Del Campo is now down to a 3 or 4 man rush, and they're dropping 7 to 8 people here. Let's see what happens if they decide to play the secondary and drop 7 or 8, or they're going to put some heat on Lucero.
Thank you. I was about to cover that ground myself. 3 for 6 through the air now for Lucero, who started 3 for 3, still stuck at 45 yards passing. The heat. We haven't quite seen the major heat yet. It might come on this one. Out of the gun. He's got time. Over the middle, a catch. Short yardage for about 5. They make midfield on the strike to Leonte Huerta Moore.
Well, I would think on 4th down, they don't want to give up the football here with 42 seconds and the clock running. I think Coach Ray, well, let's see here, they're bringing 3 people in. And there you see Lucero going down the middle to Huerta and picking up about 7, but they need 4th down, and they are out of timeouts. Ish Cisneros with the stop.
Here we go. 4th and 5, clock rolling, 19 seconds to go. Motion shown.
Double pass is on its way.
And Gabe cannot escape and cannot make a first down. Gabe Thomas, that didn't work. And the drive fizzles. So the Cougars, well deployed, they stay home and get the stop that they needed. They parked the football at the DC 48, and clock showing 11 seconds remaining here in the first half. And a good shot there of Mike Domino up along that Del Campo sideline. Well, and his counterpart there, Matt Ray.
Warning.
Okay, now, Domino, I'm warning you. I'm pointing a finger and warning you.
Well, will he go deep or will they just run the football?
I think he'll try whatever he can to get another TD, but they do run it. Up the gut, big hole. Cabral outside.
Get out of bounds.
Big speed, and he does get out of bounds, crossing the 25 with 4.1 remaining. And at least 1 play left.
Well, you know they're going to the end zone, Will, on this one. Cabral with a great run again. He looks like the Cabral of 2016 tonight.
Big speed, big burst. Timeout, apparently, or just a major substitution.
Not yet.
Cabral now, 99 yards on 10 carries, and as you say, Jim Domino, showing that form from last year. So the Cougars want to try a field goal, and time again halts this play. Delay of game.
5-yard penalty, remains first down.
So they get backed up 5. They move the ball to the 29. Antelope, 2 penalties for 20. Del Campo, 7 penalties, costing him 51. Tyler Domino wants to throw, looking. He reloads, runs for daylight, and guns one to the end zone. Intercepted in the end zone, and the first half has been completed. Trying to make something out of nothing, Tyler Domino. But he did drive DC for 2 touchdowns to eclipse a 7-6 deficit. And that's where we are now with Del Campo on top on homecoming night at home, 19-7 after trailing 7-6. This has been as spirited a game as we figured it would be, Coach Domino. And 2 outstanding programs, 2 outstanding teams, and 2 outstanding coaches running the shows for their respective squads.
Well, both coaches' records speak for themselves coming in here tonight. Very successful, both of them.
Well, we're at the intermission, and our Rick Stewart is gathering his first coach for the halftime interview, and we'll pitch down to him with Mike Domino. Rick?
All right, Coach, first half impressions.
Let me see. I screwed up going for 2. Tried to do it over and gone for 1 because they saw our formation, especially early in the game, but I can't do anything about it now. It's been great to grab a field goal there at the end, but you know, that was right about the distance of my field goal. Kicker can kick it, but we ended up going, thought we had a fade in the corner. So the thing that really irks me is that we had 10 guys on the field on their touchdown, and they put 3 guys out at one time because of pants violations. These guys had already played 12 plays. They put them out for 1 play, and I didn't get a chance to substitute. So they actually scored, and I had 10 guys, 3 defensive backs. That's what bothers me.
Okay. What's going to be the one thing in the second half?
One thing in the ball is we gotta be able to slam the ball, control the clock, and get some first downs. Play action pass.
All right, thanks, Mike. Good luck in the second half. Guys, send it back up to you.
Oh, thank you, Rick. Well, Coach Domino, always looking for perfection, cites the bad before the good, but that's why that Antelope receiver was so wide open, only 3 DBs. But we have got halfway home and another half in store here on Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week. Stick around. We got a long ride from Fair Oaks. We'll be right back.
My grandfather served in World War II. Spending time with him were the best memories of my life. I became a physician at VA because of my grandfather, so I can help others like him. I can't imagine working with better doctors or a more dedicated staff. I'm fulfilling my life's mission with the help of my team and thanks to these veterans. I'm proud to be a doctor at VA and proud to honor my grandfather every day. Search VA Careers to find out more.
I tell people I have 3 kids, one of them's adopted, I just don't know which one.
I can't imagine having to be in a birth mother's position to make that choice.
You know, I was kind of just asking her, you know, what is your motivation? Why are you doing this? And she looked at me and she said, because you can give my son a life that I could not.
We always tell her, thank you. He is such a blessing to us.
Every day is just a ray of sunshine from him. So we're Chanda and Brian, and we chose adoption.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking, now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Well, now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
All righty, first place in the CVC up to grab tonight. Del Campo up 19-7 at halftime over Antelope. I've got Rich Nichols here, principal here at Del Campo. Rich, tremendous night. Number 1, football night. I mean, it's a perfect night here. 2 stunning teams. And you've also got homecoming. It's a big week.
It's a huge week. The kids have been looking forward to this since last year when we lost a squeaker at Antelope for their homecoming. So this is great for the kids, great for the school, and I think great for the community to have 2 teams of this caliber playing this time of year.
It's so diplomatic, a squeaker. That's okay, that's okay. You know, and that's what both teams have been facing this year. And talking with the Antelope coach, it was one game at a time, but you could tell there was something under, you know, this is what we're going to be heading for. What else is going on here on campus? I mean, the football team's on fire. What's going on in school?
Well, you know, we have phenomenal kids here, and a lot of times you don't see or hear what the kids do. But for instance, we had a rally today that was really a production. It was like going to see a show. I can't be more proud of the kids for that. And also what I'm really proud of is we brought in a career technology education fire safety class. And we thought we'd get 12, 15 kids. We have 36 kids in a waiting list. And this is a program that these students will leave Del Campo with college credits through ARC and the ability to get right into the fire training program. And what we're really excited about is right now Sacramento Fire is in Pennsylvania and New York looking for firemen. So we are now going to be able to produce firemen for our own community, and we just think we're the school to do it and the area to do it, and we just love that we have that here.
Now, will the students have an opportunity to graduate here with the credits that they have from this curriculum and then go straight into a job? Is that what you're saying?
Because they're only 18 and you got to be 21 at Sac Metro, they'll be able to go straight into their training program.
Okay.
So, but they will have the units, or they'll be in priority for AR, Sierra, some of these other fire technology schools at the junior college level.
Wow, that's an outstanding option for the students and it's student athletes too, because there's athletes that are into that kind of a major as well. I mean, you got to be prepared. I mean, my athletic career didn't last very long, and I don't know whether I was prepared or not, but that's another story. How much? How do we want to say this? How much tension was there on campus going into tonight's game? First place showdown.
I would call it excitement. There was just a lot of excitement. The students are confident. They really feel that they played to this point game, as you said, one game at a time that's really prepared them for this night. So more a confident excitement than a lot of tension right now. I think the kids a little excited at the beginning, but I think as they've settled down, they realize they can compete.
Wow, well, they've competed every year, and that's the hallmark of a Domino team. You're not going to get outworked. You may make mistakes, but you're not going to get outworked by a Domino coach team, or even a Domino-led team, as we're seeing here tonight. Tremendous opportunity here, especially with the fire program. Are there other things coming up in the near future at Del Campo?
Well, I'm going to plug our information night where we ask 8th grade parents and students from throughout the district to come and see what we offer, because we do offer so much. We also have in our public safety program, law enforcement. We have a video technology broadcast program that's a career technology education pathway. So we have a lot, and that's all going on. And on November 1st, we're going to open that up to the community and hope we get some people to come in and see the great things we do. Like I said, we have phenomenal kids here.
Outstanding. Well, if there's a video classes and things like that, I know somebody that's probably listening that could maybe take on some interns or something like that.
Well, I'm making the plug right now.
All right, well, I think the plug was heard. Rich, thanks for spending some time with us. I really appreciate it. You guys support us so well whenever we come out here to Del Campo and Cougar Canyon. It's just tremendous to be here.
Thank you. We love having you. You're always welcome.
All right, thanks, Rich. All right, it is 19-7 at halftime. We'll be right back after this.
My grandfather served in World War II. Spending time with him were the best memories of my life. I became a physician at VA because of my grandfather, so I can help others like him. I can't imagine working with better doctors or a more dedicated staff. I'm fulfilling my life's mission with the help of my team and thanks to these veterans. I'm proud to be a doctor at VA and proud to honor my grandfather every day. Search VA Careers to find out more.
I tell people I have 3 kids, one of them's adopted, I just don't know which one.
I can't imagine having to be in a birth mother's position to make that choice.
You know, I was kind of just asking her, you know, what is your motivation? Why are you doing this? And she looked at me and she said, because you can give my son a life that I could not.
We always tell her thank you. He is such a blessing to us.
Every day is just a ray of sunshine from him. So we're Chanda and Brian, and we chose adoption.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking, now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Well, now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
All right, halftime score 19-7 tonight. The showdown for the CVC first place this part of the season. It's time. Del Campo in the lead, and I've got Sharon Props here, athletic director here at Del Campo. First and foremost, softball's coming up. Yes, you're looking forward to that as head coach, correct?
Always look forward to it. 15 years running, always looking forward to it.
And how's your team this year?
We are as good as we will be.
There's diplomats. Okay, then I can't really top that. One of the reasons I like coming out here, over and above the rapport we've built of the times we've been out here, is I've gotten several glimpses of just who you are and the type of person you are over and above being athletic director. Now we've got a clip that, well, it could be, but it's all good, especially for Del Campo and the district as well, because you're a spokesperson. But we've got a clip here that I want to roll, and you'll probably see some of it. It's a different angle, but if we can go ahead and roll that clip, and we'll talk about it as it is. Okay, they're telling us in the truck that it is a great clip, and it's a clip that we'll talk about. But at the same time, it talks about humanity, and right now I can see in your eyes you're going, "What the heck is he doing?" No, okay. Well, and first and foremost, when we talk about this, I want to know how you came to be involved in this and how you were able to help set it up, because the one clip I saw that was really, really bad video showed you on the field taking part of this. Now let's step back to last year in the playoffs, East Union. Okay. Now we had a situation where there was a young man with East Union, Vinny, and you'd hate to say that somebody's life, thing, but he's a tremendous young man, and he got involved in the game. And because he got involved in the game, and it was a situation where you see it, but you never really get the opportunity to have something like that happen to you and your team. Run through what happened and how you became involved, because basically Del Campo was in the lead and they gave up a touchdown.
Correct.
Okay. Tell me how that all came to be, Sharon.
Well, what I like most about my job is the kids. And I do this because of the kids, whether they're athletes or kids in my class. We do all of this for the kids. And sports emulate life, and sports bring us opportunities. You hear the saying teachable moments all the time. And when opportunities arise, you got to take it. And it was just one of those things that life brought us that opportunity, and I was just honored and humbled to be a part of it. Vinny is an extraordinary man. East Union is an extraordinary school. Their coaching staff, classy, their administration, and it was an opportunity for our kids to be a part. They learned more on that field that night than they did, I think, in a lifetime in the classroom. That's a wonderful, wonderful night.
Well, and the other part is at the end of it, I mean, yeah, you see things like this when you're on YouTube and that, and you see the other team and they're just, it's like, he's just laying down on the field. But it's not that. I mean, once the Del Campo gets it in their mind what's going on and everything's fine, there's just a different feeling on all the players. And even the Del Campo defenders were waving him on, and in the jumping around afterwards, they're jumping around too.
Gives me chills just to think about it. Our kids 100% in the moment, instantaneously bought in. They knew exactly what to do, when to do it, full of character. Our kids, without question, knew the right thing to do. And that goes to our staff, our coaching staff, for allowing those kids to build their character. And that night, we stayed lights on for an hour and a half after the game. And both teams, the kids came out of the locker room. They were on center field at the 50-yard line. They talked, they hugged, they just enjoyed sports and what the real meaning of all this is about. And it was just a night where we just left the lights on and let the event happen as it should.
Outstanding, outstanding. Those moments just don't come often enough, and I can tell you that. that's part of the reason that it's so much fun to be here when we are able to come out here to Del Campo, because of the support you guys give us. Obviously, I mean, we love to have that, but it's more the people you are here that create that support.
Well, I certainly appreciate that, but we love having you guys here. This is a community event. This is a school event. This is for everybody. We're here to give everybody the opportunities to live and breathe this one. This is Friday Night Lights. It doesn't get better than this. So it's, the more the merrier. It's what it's all about. And it's having everybody we can.
Excellent. Sharon, thank you so much for stopping by and spending some time with me. And hopefully this won't taint any of our future relationship. But thank you for spending some time with me.
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure.
All right. Thanks, Sharon. All righty. It is halftime. It's 19-7. Del Campo in the lead over Antelope. First place on the line. We'll be right back.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education. What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts.
Yes, you.
You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions.
Love it.
Cross-referencing travel sites. And booking all your flights with those...
Vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh. But now they're like... Aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
We're at the intermission, not far off from second half action. Del Campo on top, 19-7 over Antelope. And there's always keys to the game, and the statistics reveal many of those keys. And we do have those numbers for you now, prepared by our executive statistician, Gary Martin.
Okay, going over the first half stats as you see. Rushing yards, 47 to 120 in favor of the Cougars. As you know, the Antelope's known for their rushing attack as well. Passing, 127 to 50. Total offense, 247-97. First downs, there you see it. Penalties, the only one that Del Campo's leading in, and the one they don't want to be leading in, is the penalties. 7 for 51. Turnovers, one costly turnover right at the end, and time of possession there actually in favor of the Titans thus far in that first half. But scoreboard says 19-7 the Cougars, and we've got another big half to go, Will.
We do indeed.
Hey fans, still time to join the 50-50 raffle and support Cougar Athletics.
Well, it's been a perfect football night, and it wouldn't be a game unless we had the weekly rankings. And as you know, in following game of the week, the Imperator has the dozen.
Well, let's start it with Folsom. I've had them there since the beginning, and until somebody defeats the Bulldogs, why, there they are. Oak Ridge right there looking for that settlement showdown there a couple of weeks down the road. Intercom third, Sac, Rockland, Granite Bay, Antelope, Del Campo, Jesuit, Franklin, Sheldon, and Placer.
Well, we're going to deviate here for a moment and send it to Rick Stewart. He's got the ray gun.
All right, Coach Ray, first half impressions.
It's good. The game's kind of what we thought it would be. They've made more plays than us. We're gonna need to clean some things up and compete all the way to the end, and try to shrink this down a little bit here. But we get the ball first, and they've made 4 big plays, and we've kind of missed our couple opportunities. But we're happy with where we are. We gotta, like I said, we've been in this position before, so that's why they played 4 quarters.
Well, how would you describe the line play between both teams, offense, defense? Who's got the edge?
I think they're controlling the line, and that's what we talked about a little bit more than we would like. We're gonna have to fix that, and hopefully we did at halftime so that we can move bodies a little bit better and kind of clean those things up.
All right, Coach. Good luck in the second half. All right, guys. We'll send it back upstairs to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Stewart. Nice to get perspective from both head coaches. Both teams have returned to the field and huddled, and we are just moments away from our second half kickoff. And in case you're joining us late, it was a sticky kind of first half. But, yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the red zone portion of Domino's Dozen and the top 20.
And to continue with teams on the bubble or that red zone, Lincoln having a true super year at 5-1, Monterey Trail coming back real strong, still in contention for that league. Certainly Del Oro, Whitney, Christian Brothers, Elk Grove playing with Monterey Trail tonight, and we have a good halftime score there with Monterey Trail leading over Elk Grove, Vista del Lago, and Cordova coming into effect. A score Elk Grove 7 and Monterey Trail 34 at the half.
Things are tightening up in all regards, and you're right about that Monterey Trail outfit. TJ Ewing has shaken off a tough loss a few weeks ago and playing tough against Grant and now Elk Grove. And there are the CVC standings, and look who's on top, tied for the lead.
There you have Del Campo and Antelope, both 4-0, 7-0, settling it all here on the field the way it should be. Whitney still in contention at 3-1, their only loss to Del Campo. And then we go Casunas, Oakmont, Roseville, Ponderosa, and then Bella Vista as we await this second half kickoff.
That's where we are after 7 weeks. This will make 8, but what lies ahead, Imperator, for these two squads? Who they going to play, and who's got the edge?
Well, let's take a look at that. One of them has a common opponent coming up, and as we look at this, Antelope has Bella Vista, and then at Bella Vista, and then home at Whitney, winless Bella Vista. But that game with Whitney is going to be exciting, and we expect to be there in a couple of weeks. Del Campo is going to be home versus Oakmont here, and I understand that game's been moved to Thursday because they share this field. Rio Americana will use this field on Friday. Then they go to Bella Vista at the last game of the season. So they have two common opponents there in the next 2 weeks. Bella Vista is common to both of them, and I'm sure Bella Vista is not happy about having to play Antelope and Del Campo back-to-back.
I would not be thrilled if I were in the Broncos' position, but that's not our department. Here's our second half kickoff. Antelope to receive, taken at the 11-yard line. And this run back is pretty well contained and strung out wide. And Alejandro Torres with a spirited run back and slightly above average field position as the Titans offense takes the field. Antelope down 19-7 after leading briefly 7-6 at the end of one.
Well, this position is a little better than they've had, Will, via those pooch kicks. We finally kicked one down the field here to start the second half.
So they open shop from the Antelope 24-yard line. Junior quarterback Lucero under center. Turn and give. Not this time. a massive gang tackle, and Roberts, I think, just took the brunt of that Del Campo D-line.
Well, as Coach Ray mentioned, hopefully they're going to fix up that line play. There you see the surge of defense.
You bet. And Hunter, Marshawn Hunter, who is premium on both sides of the football, was in on that stop.
Marshawn Hunter, look at the stats on him coming into this game.
We'll come back to that because he deserves it. Motion in the Antelope backfield, misdirection, and a chopping tackle after about a 4-yard run. And it's going to leave Antelope kind of in an undesirable position on down and distance, 3rd and long, 3rd and 7-ish. Maybe 3rd and 6, we'll call that.
Look at Hunter on both sides of the football, having 16 catches, 400 yards, 25-yard average, 10 TDs. Look at on defense. Look at those stats, 52 tackles, 11 sacks, 24 hurries. What a season.
No, he's tremendous. We'll even amplify on that a bit more. Lucero to throw. Short hookup and first down yardage for the Titans. Cisneros on the stop, but unable to prevent the hookup to Gabe Thomas. He has really impressed me on offense, defense, and special teams. Gabe Thomas. 1st and 10 Titans.
Well, it looks like they're running that curl route or the stop route at about 8-9 yards and being successful on it. And I would say Lucero is going to use that more. Here you see him lining up in the gun already.
Gain of 7 after 3rd and 6. Brown dropped.
Wow.
And guess who? The hungry Hunter.
The Hunter on the move. Look out. Backside. We know he's leading the league in sacks, but he's got to be very high in the Sacramento area.
And he's leading the area in tackles for losses, and there's another one.
Wow.
A loss of 5, 2nd and 15 upcoming.
He's as fast as most backs, Will.
They get pushed back to the 30. And there's part of that defense. Brown, 5 carries for 13. His numbers dropping after getting hit for the loss. Double wide near side.
I see them running that.
Rolls, throw on the run, intercepted at the sideline. He read it like a book-ish. Cisneros with the pick.
Uh-oh, we got a late block or some type.
Possible roughing the passer. Lucero is down. And trainers and coaches spilling out onto the field from the Antelope side. And I hate to see that. It was totally unnecessary. I didn't get a good look at the contact, but the flag came out. Discretion. Discretion is such a part of this game. We'll get a replay after we hear from Dennis Ward, our Whitecap, and here he is.
Personal foul, illegal helmet contact, defense, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Helmet contact, and here's our expert replay. Markey, there it was. It was unintentional. Unintentional, tough luck, and we're glad Lucero is okay, but the penalty results automatic 1st down, 1st and 10 Titans. It helps their drive. They're at their own 45 after that 15-yard advance. I formation, turn and give. Tough, short yards. Boy, I wouldn't want to be in on that. And Roberts and Moses Paul are really wondering when they're going to get some daylight to show some run.
Yeah, it's tough to run inside on the Cougars. They're very quick. They've got linebackers that are very, very tough.
Roberts, 14 yards on 5 carries, gain of 1 that time, 2nd and 9. And we see Roberts in motion in the backfield, and whistles are going to bust this play. So Antelope calls a time here early in the 3rd quarter. You see Mike Domino and part of that Cougars staff looking on, and we are going to step back for a mere 30 seconds and encourage you to stay right there. Lots more to come.
maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Well, now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Antelope on the attack after a fresh set of downs, and Moses Paul hit and driven back as he gets to the line of scrimmage. I don't believe he got much more than that. And hot tempers are starting to flare now. Exception taken by tight end Mark Chavez.
Well, that's a pursuing Cougar defense. And right now, they are after him, and it's a wonder that Antelope doesn't come through with a draw or perhaps a screen here, Will, because the surging Cougars are coming hard.
Gain of 1. Lucero tries to go for the screen and a bump, and here comes late flags on an uncatchable pass. Well, you know, I'm not one to criticize our NCOA people, but it's a tough job. Dennis Ward conferring with his staff, and that was a 3rd and 8 incompletion, which probably would have forced a punt with them trailing 19-7.
Well,
but as you see here,
interference, defense, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. It'll be a first down.
Wow, that looked more than 15. 2 big penalties have hurt the Cougars, and I'll tell you, uncatchable, as you mentioned, Will.
there was no one there. There was no one there, and he couldn't have got there. Here we go. Lucero back to throw deep for the end zone. Got a man out there. Broken up at the goal line. What a breakup that was.
That looked like Amir. Looked like Amir Williams.
They were going for Sylvester Toby, and Williams defending on the play. That pass was right on target. Lucero threw a beauty, but well defended.
Yes, he did.
2nd and 10 from the DC 38. Clock stopping at the 8:05.
There you see him going deep down the field, and nice play. Watch Williams. Excellent defense.
Yes, it was. 1-on-1. Lucero, short drop over the middle, bobbled and caught. What a play there as Antelope punches inside the DC 20 on a juggled pass completion.
Well, Lucero got a lot of, I give him credit for hanging in the pocket because he got rid of that ball in a hurry. Really a lot of pressure applied to him, and a great catch.
Okay, they start the clock. 22 yards on the catch and run, and the football parked at the DC 16-yard line. 4 first downs in this drive, 2 by penalty, 2 legitimately earned on yardage. 6 for 10 for 79 yards for Lucero, and another stoppage. Timeout Antelope. They've spent 2 timeouts here, and we're not even midway third yet, so we'll see what happens. And we will step back and exhale for about 30 seconds. Stick around. More to come on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
What if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow.
My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
The Antelope Titans First and 10 from the Del Campo 16-yard line. Fake the handoff. He wants to throw a delayed handoff, and that's a busted play, I suppose. It's going to be a big loss. Gee whiz. I wonder if Keith Brown is...
Well, Brown looked good early in this football game in the first half, but right now these running backs of Antelope Titans are getting harassed in the backfield by that tough defense, and if it wasn't for penalties, they probably would have the ball back.
Under center, Lucero, fake the handoff. He's pressured, throws on the run, batted down, heavy pass pressure. Marshawn Hungry Hunter.
Well, I'll tell you what, he was all over him.
3rd and 14.
There you see Marshawn having a phenomenal year. He does it all. Great receiver, great defensive outside linebacker, can play just about anywhere, Will.
And his numbers are way over the top. A superlative season. So, a play change and a personnel change back into the game. Keith Brown, as Moses Paul sits down. Lucero just now returning to the huddle. Yes, clock management. Okay, he's under center. Looks left all the way, pressured, throws over the middle. Boom! A short completion, and it's going to be another helmet-to-helmet defensive penalty. And I think it's Ish Cisnero again. Well. An injured Cougar on the field, and we certainly hope that is not serious. Yes, very serious, and Mike Domino and parts of staff and training also out there. That was a massive hit immediately after the completion. And I won't even begin to speculate. I know Rick Stewart will be gathering information as it becomes available, but being helped to his feet now and getting up, and that's a good sign right there. Bart Lolani, a valuable defender who came into the game with 22 tackles, 3 sacks, and 3 hurries, being helped off, and a noticeable limp left leg.
Well, he's a big part of that Cougar defense.
Mike Domino out talking, and
So foul.
Dennis Ward, helmet to helmet, second time. Mike Domino just throws up his hands in disgust, and we'll have a replay on that last sequence. That was a short pass completion over the middle, and then boom. Dennis Ward with the white cap. Boy, oh boy, this has been a wild and zany game.
You know, all of a sudden here, we got penalty after penalty.
Here comes the latest. Brown drilled high by Cisneros, and the same call. So we've had 2 of those in this drive. I'm quite certain the penalties will probably double the actual gained yardage in offense.
Well,
yardage.
It appears we're going that way. I mean, you name it. We've gone down the field with penalties.
Well, DC's been hit with 9 penalties for 81 yards. Antelope 2 for 20.
Personal foul, illegal hand contact on the defense. Half the distance to the goal line. Repeat 3rd down.
All right. Let's see what happens. Lucero looking over the DC defense, and there's a change, a shift to the left. Turn and give, left side running. Brown slips 1 tackle and then gets popped inside the 5.
It looked like the Cougars had good penetration there, but he bounced it outside with a speed. So it appeared that they had him trapped in there for no gain, but they showed good speed getting around the corner.
Well, they're set up now with a 1st and goal from the 4. Yeah, this has been a really interesting drive that has been almost totally, well, a good share of penalty yards. Turn and give. Moses Paul blasts off right tackle to the 1. Couldn't quite get in. 2nd and goal from very short yardage. Gain of 3.
Now they're bringing, looks like Roberts back in the ball game, Will. Will they fake inside and pitch to Roberts?
Backs are split. Turn and give. Moses Paul at the goal line. Tries to power up and gets shoved back. That's a tough D-line right there. Well, that was impressive.
Yes, it was, and a great defensive presence in there by right across the board. Looks like Ane is in that game.
Another penalty marker just flies out on a dead ball. 12 for 24. That is Moses Paul's stats.
Oh, unsportsmanlike.
Okay, tempers are starting to flare higher and higher. 12 carries for Paul, producing just 24 yards. This game is warming up. So here's the walk-off from Dennis Ward. It shoves the Titans back outside the 10-yard line. Unsportsmanlike, and it was a dead ball penalty. And it comes out to the 15-yard line. Third.
Let's see. Third down?
3rd and goal from the 20.
3rd and goal from what, the 15?
The 15, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, 10 penalties against DC tonight for 88. 3 against Antelope. That was the 3rd. So from the 15 on 3rd down, split the backs behind Lucero. Turn and fake, play action pass. Looking left all the way, rushed hard and throwing over everybody's head.
Now they got a great field goal kicker, and I don't think Coach Ray can come away with nothing. He's got to put that toe in the favor of his kicker, who's an outstanding Isaiah Gomez here.
Well, he hit the clutch, dramatic 43-yard field goal a year ago in Antelope to salvage a 31-29 victory after Antelope had led for all the way up to a minute 56. Lucero now 7 for 13 for 85. They're going to spot the football at the 24. Spotted, booted. He's got plenty, but is it in there? Got it. Just inside the right upright. So they do come away with something. The field goal by Gomez chips into that deficit, which is now 19-10. The three-pointer coming at the 5:08 mark. So in the craziest drive I've seen this year that has occupied all the time in the third quarter so far, as they took the second half kickoff, they ran about 20 plays here, and we'll get the actual numbers, but it winds up with a Gomez field goal.
And they took 7 minutes off the clock, 39-yard field goal, and took 7 off the clock. Now, this is an important drive or attempted drive by the Cougars. This is the first time they've seen the ball in the second half thus far with 5 minutes remaining in this quarter, Will.
Yes, it is, and let's see what they do with it. It's an onside kick. Were they ready for it? They've got people there, and it's smothered, and DC's got the pill in good shape outside their 35.
Well, I like this in terms of the Cougars having a shorter field to drive with the ball on the 36-yard line. Jordan Salinas with a return and a smother. Really no return, but he wisely fell on the ball, Will.
The Antelope scoring drive, which is going in our all-time record book, 14 plays covering, 76 yards in 14 plays, nearly 7 minutes, and they cash in the long field goal by Gomez
And what was the penalty yardage during that period of time? It seems to me it was somewhere between 45 and 50 yards.
I think you're right on the button. So out of 70-some, they get about 50 of it on penalties. Okay, here we go. Del Campo from the 37. Left side running, MACKEY outside with power and speed to midfield.
Well, the Cougars anxious to get their hands on the ball, and if they could avoid the penalties and have a nice drive here using the remainder of this quarter, Will.
He reaches midfield with a 13-yard burst, and Del Campo quickly back up to the line. No time in the huddle. High snap. He's got it, and short yardage, well defended off the right side. MACKEY had the carry. And excellent defensive play by Tyler MACKEY and one other Titan. Gain of half a yard or so. We'll call it 2nd and 9 from the Antelope 49. Clock rolling with 4:22 to go. Late third. Out of the gun. Tyler Domino rolls right, fires on the run to the sideline. Bobbled, incomplete. A near interception that time. Good position in the coverage by Sylvester TOBY.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, interception by Sylvester TOBY. Let's take a look.
I saw no indicator.
Rolling, throwing. Bronze was the receiver in front. Gee whiz, was that a juggle?
Did he have control?
Well, let's take a look. And we're going to credit TOBY for good positioning, but the outcome is in question. A juggle, no. Clean. Heck of an interception. And 1st and 10 for Antelope. The Titans playing tough, trying to come back on the road. Play action pass. Lucero airing it out. He's going to overthrow everybody. Broken up. There he is. The good coverage. Mayor Williams. Again, that time going for Leonte Huerta Moore. 2nd and 10. Line of scrimmage, the Antelope 33. (19-10). Antelope did a great job of chewing up the third quarter with nearly an 8-minute drive, and they get the ball back on another interception. Lucero looks right and guns a strike, a short completion, but the run afterward creates a first down. Nifty bit of run after the grab. And wow, Thomas is having a nice little game. The numbers aren't going to jump out at you, but I'll tell you, Gabe Thomas is a special player. He's one of their very best.
He's one of the better all-around athletes we've seen this year. As a wide receiver as well as a defensive back at safety, one of the top that we've seen.
Gain of 12, 1st and 10 from the Antelope 45. We see the motion, but they come the other way, and it's completely covered. It's going to be a loss of 3 or so, and that one did not fool. The misdirection got eaten alive. Jahari Roberts is having an equally tough game as Moses Paul, but they're in the game. Trey, let's take another look at this defensive effort here.
Great penetration by Ford and company, along with Jackie Johnson.
Okay, and that brings up a 2nd and 12 from the 43. They hand it to Roberts. He's trying to get outside and does. And he slides back inside for about 4, but well short of a first down. They're going to give him the 47-yard line. Clock rolling here in the third quarter, late third, 2.5 to go. Time-consuming possessions have really been
Very
something
definitely.
tonight.
They've dominated the time of possession here in the second half, Will. Del Campo's had the ball very little.
Very little. Okay, a big 3rd and 8. Lucero batted and picked. What a defensive play.
Dent. Wow.
So the defense comes up big, and the Cougars have a turnover and great field position. That was a drive stopper. And we'll take another look at this defensive gem.
There you see Dent dropping off into coverage, gets the deflected pass, comes up with a big play.
That was huge. It's a drive buster, and moreover, it sets up Del Campo 1st and 10. Football at the Antelope 34. Domino turn and give. Cabral hit in the backfield and dropped for a loss. Boy, that was superior defensive play right there.
It sure was. That was an excellent. He crashed in from that outside in.
Jacob Pinola.
Pinola, outstanding player. Two-way starter, 3 years. One of the best in the league.
And the Antelope sack leader with 5. Okay. Loss of half a yard, 2nd and 11. Fake to Markey and throw incomplete to Bronze. Pressure on the play from Sullivan. That would be Carter Sullivan. That brings up 3rd and 11. The quarter now reduced to 1:26. Stoppage on the incompletion. And at this point on the field, and depending on what they get here on 3rd down, I think this is Cougar 4-down territory. Let's see. Marshawn Hunter out wide to the near side. They haven't called his number yet. They fire the other way. Cabral has the catch, turns the corner. A big 1st down for the Cougars as he smashes inside the 25. Clutch play. Football at the Antelope 22. Gain of 12 on the play. Clock rolling. 1:13, 1:12. Overloaded left side. They run right with Cabral. Can he get outside? He does. He turns up and then gets headed off, but markers fly. Well, we've heard that before, haven't we? Holding against Del Campo. So the 1st down opportunity from the 22 is disturbed. Dennis Ward has been busy.
Holding, offense. 10-yard penalty from the swatted foul. Repeat 1st down.
All right, thank you, Dennis. They will repeat 1st down. The football parked at the 32.
1st and 20 after the penalty.
Okay, 1st and 20. Markey running left, cuts it, and gets near the 25, but we have yet another penalty. My. Okay, Dennis.
Illegal shift, the call against the Cougars, 5 yards.
Well, the call is illegal shift. It will cost the Del Campo Cougars 5. And as you see, here's the announcement.
5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat 1st down.
And the numbers continue to soar. 12 penalties now on Del Campo for 103 yards. Here we go. Turn and give. Nothing doing up the middle. All right. Amplifying on that last statistic delivered by our executive statistician, Gary Martin, in the penalty department, Antelope 2 for 35, Del Campo 12 for 103. Okay, from the 35, Del Campo has themselves a 2nd and 23, and the third quarter is expiring. That means we have played 3 from Cougar Canyon and Fair Oaks. A CVC showdown and a battle for sole possession of first place. 19-10, Del Campo by 9 as we'll move to the fourth quarter. Don't wander off. We are going to join Rick Stewart. He's got more. Rick?
9-point lead after 3. Mark Euler, vice principal here. Homecoming week's winding down, although we still, between these two teams, fourth quarter might be the best part of the whole week. But the week's been tremendous, hasn't it?
Absolutely. No, this is a great culmination of a wonderful homecoming experience. We've had a lot of participation from all of our student body. We've had our hallways just yesterday. We had our rally today. Wonderful opportunity for everybody to get involved. Tomorrow night's, of course, a dance, but football game tonight.
All right, are you going to be at the dance, boogieing?
Of course, I'll be cutting the rug, and the kids are going to be embarrassed, and we're going to love it.
They're going to have a rug out there? Don't they normally put some sawdust on the court?
In the hoedown out here, absolutely. No, we're going to have a great time.
Mark, thanks for spending a minute with me in a quarter break. All right, guys, send it back up to you.
All right, Mr. Stewart, thank you very much. Lots of color and pageantry out here at Del Campo High on homecoming night, and the Cougars on top. 19-10, but it's been a wild and zany game from the beginning. So they change ends of the field. DC has the pill, 2nd 23 from Antelope 35. Toss to Joseph, looks like he wants to throw. He does, wide open man, overthrown. My, well-designed play.
I like the call.
Bronze was the intended receiver.
And he was open, Will.
He was open.
Just overthrew him.
And the coverage, Gabe Thomas, incomplete. 3rd and 23. From the 35-yard line. And I'm waiting for Tyler Domino to go to Hunter, but here comes a reverse. Big speed left side, Hunter! Well, I was waiting. And, you know, patience is a good thing.
Well, to me here, that's a little, myself, I don't like the field goal here. I like us going for the ball, but for the first down, despite being 4th and 8.
Football resting at the Antelope 20. And they are going for it. They need 7. Cabral shifts. Tyler Domino rolls, looks, throws to the sideline. Oh, yes. A catch and an additional run of a few. And that was another well-designed play and beautifully executed.
Well, he threw a laser down there, and it gave him pretty good protection.
First down, Del Campo. Deep in the red zone. Here we go, turn and toss, left side running, cut, speed to the end zone, touchdown Cougars, Greg Cabral.
Cabral showing that burst of speed, getting outside.
So, a key 3rd down gain by Hunter and a pass out to the right by Tyler Domino, and then Cabral, who's having a stellar game given the circumstances, scats in 25-10. They try for the PAT.
There you see Cabral cutting inside the lane and to the end zone easy.
The kick on the way, got it. 26-10, and Tyler Domino engineering that drive. He has had a superlative season. Special delivery, Domino. In 7 games, this young man has thrown 74 for 101. That's a 73% completion rate. 1,358 yards. He's thrown for 22 scores. Now tonight he had his interception streak busted there, but his quarterback rating off the chart at 154 plus. Tyler Domino, one of the top quarterbacks in the Sac Joaquin section. And Del Campo now on top, 26-10. Let's take a look at the delivery.
There's Tyler rolling out to the right. He's got a man open in the corner, wide open in there, getting in.
Bronze with the grab. Aren't they pretty good buddies?
Yes, they are.
And then here's Cabral.
Watch Cabral making it a little easy. Yeah, Bronze has been at the house a number of times in the last few years, and that's an understatement.
Well, he's having a stellar season himself, receiving and coverage in the secondary. 6 interceptions is quite impressive.
Yes, Bronze is having an all-league season and certainly deserves it. He works hard. He and his brother have contributed a lot to Del Campo.
Well, Del Campo set to kick off, stretching their lead now. 26-10, kick on the way, short at the 15. And a modest run back that's well covered, but it's going to be Antelope field position at about the 30-yard line. And this game is beyond spirited.
Very much. You can see it picking up.
Oh, yeah. And I guess that's the nature of it. And, you know, I have to give credit on that run back by Stephen Britter of Antelope. But the Titans behind the 8 ball, they're 21-game CBC winning streak on the line, as is their hold on first with a tie right now. Deadlocked with DC, but they're down 16.
Well, wouldn't you expect them to go to the air right now, Will? They're down 2 scores, plenty of time, 11 minutes, but rather than rely on the run.
I would. 1st and 10, Antelope. Backs on either side of Lucero in the gun. Low snap. Roberts working left. Not much doing there. He does make the 30. I got him 2 on the play, make it 2nd and 8.
Well, I would see Coach Ray's ball club huddling and really coming to the line of scrimmage quicker than normal because they're facing the clock here at 10:30 in the 4th quarter here and used a lot of time on that run play. So they're going to have to go to play action here. They're taking awful long in the huddle, so something special could be coming.
It could be coming, and if they have to resort to more pass plays, we'll look for more pressure on the rush. They deploy 3 wide receivers, lots of motion, big rush, flag flies, and he's sacked. Loose football, 2 Cougars after it, but whistles blow the play dead. 19-10?
26.
Yeah, okay. So another penalty has been registered. That comes as no surprise, doesn't it? And you see there a conference among our game referee and Del Campo players. Well, I think that should also involve the head coach.
Illegal shift. Offense. Penalties decline.
Call against the Titans.
3rd down.
Okay. Third and 8.
Big down here. Watch the pressure coming.
There
we
he
know
is.
that guy.
Hungry Hunter. They call that a sack, and he also forced a fumble on it, but the penalty has muddled the situation. Hungry Hunter.
Well, he certainly is one of the best we've seen this year.
No doubt. Time on the field coming at the 10:06 early here in the 4th. And that'll give us a chance to give you a heads up on what we have scheduled down the road in 1 week's time on Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week. And Coach Domino, as you know, we have tried to load up the schedule with dynamite games, and oftentimes that means we go back to the Delta.
Once again, that's where we'll be next week. Elk Grove and Franklin, big rivalries. Going to Cosumnes Oaks, where Franklin plays their home games, and the key Delta matchup next week, Willie.
Yes, indeed. The Delta League, the CVC, and the Sierra Foothill I rate as the top 3 conferences around the area without doubt. And they all 3 are coming down to late games. What do we got there on the scoreboard? Oh my, Monterey Trail has really rebounded there. They have finished off Elk Grove 48-7. And another testimony to TJ Ewing and those Mustangs.
He does an outstanding job there at Monterey Trail.
Okay, 3rd and 24. Look out, all bets are off. Low snap. And grabbed in the backfield is Roberts. And that was a no-win situation. Well, that's going to make it 4th down, and a punt will probably come from their goal line.
Well, I'll tell you here I'm second guessing here, but quite frankly, I would not field the ball.
I'll settle for that.
And it's not that I don't have confidence in my punt receiver, but I would not field the ball.
Whittington. Big rush. He gets it off. Matoyer fumbles the punt. A penalty marker flies, and Antelope is downfield to recover.
I don't understand why he would field the ball.
Well, that is a turnover that could flip this game. And back in the first quarter, he tried a late pickup on a kick and muffed it and had to fall on it.
I don't get it.
Well, I know that's the type of a play that will not get you in good with your boss. But the fact is, Antelope is awarded possession on a recovered fumble. 1st and 10 for the Titans, working from the Del Campo 36. Left side running Roberts, jammed and shoved back. Maybe a yard. 2nd and 9. Well, Del Campo should have had themselves good field position to set up another drive, but mistakes have busted that opportunity. There you see that tough defensive crew right there. They'll get no rest. They're back out there.
Well, they have been a good part of this second half, Will.
Lucero from the gun, hitch pass right side. Gabe Thomas
Hunter.
grabbed by the hungry Hunter. Don't come over here. My.
There you go. Look at this. Huge year on the offense, although I don't know if he has a reception tonight, but on defense, he's a monster. Coming in the game with 52 tackles, 11 sacks, 24 hurries, 1 interception, 1 fumble recovery. My goodness, he's been a monster here tonight.
Oh, he's lived up to all that. Okay, 3rd and 14 from the 41. Lucero's going to run away from trouble. Hunter's after him. He throws on the run, way out of bounds, incomplete. Double coverage on the intended receiver out there. And the nearest receiver, Eduardo Torres. So that brings up 4th and 14 on the incompletion.
Well, obviously they got to go for it here. I don't see where they'd punt the ball back unless they feel that someone is going to field it.
Well, there's been enough weirdness tonight for anything to happen. Del Campo should be minding their P's and Q's here. All right, this is the one it's all about. Get on down to the real nitty-gritty. Low snap again, a bump in the backfield, a reverse option pass, a wobbler. It's going to be picked. Intercepted. Long run. David Joseph in the open field, picking up blocking and chased down finally. Here's a fight breaking out now. Hot tempers, and it was escalating all night. And here it is boiling over. A 47-yard return on that interception, and a fallen Antelope Titan near the 40-yard line.
Joseph having a big game here tonight, Will.
He is. He is. He's come up. And the intensity has also just gone right through the ceiling here.
Well, as you know, this has been building for a year, Will.
Oh, yeah. You know, a tremendous rivalry, and you see short fuses sometimes develop in this type of intensity, and we'll wait for Dennis Ward to sort it out for us.
Well, Hunter wisely backed off, if you notice. Wisely. He was being attacked there, and if we show that, you'll see him back right out.
Well, we're happy to see the fallen Titan coming off the field. Brandon Punt, a starter for this outfit at center, so we'll see how that affects them on their next possession. Meantime, Del Campo, first down, courtesy of David Joseph. The ball parked right at the Antelope 25. 7:13 remaining as we near midway fourth. And I'm not going to be at all surprised to see what evolves here. We'll take one more look at the David Joseph play as they come to the line of scrimmage. Razzle-dazzle, gadget play. Short yardage on first down with Levi Markey. They give him a yard, 2nd and 9 from the 24. Well, time of possession in the second half. My, what do you got there, Jim?
Well, obviously Antelope with a huge advantage, 12 minutes and 47 seconds to only 3:59 for the Cougars. And that last punt return, which didn't occur, really hurt the Cougars' time of possession.
Double wide left and right, but Markey's got the pill, powers up, breaks a couple tackles, and barrels inside the 30-yard line as the clock rolls at the 6:23, midway fourth. And you'd have to say that for the defending CVC champion Titans, time is getting tight.
It certainly is. We're down to 6 minutes on the clock here, and Del Campo just keeping it on the ground, using that clock.
Right side running Cabral, tries to bounce it and slides back and gets tagged hard and shoved back. No gain and possible loss. Tough D by the Titans. Real tough D.
Very good hit on that far side.
And we're going to have to certainly give credit on that play to the Titan defense led by Tyler Mackey, number 8. Clock rolling, 5.5 to go. David Joseph checks into the Cougar offense on a 4th and 5 upcoming. He lost a yard on the play. From the 20. Domino, play action pass. He rolls, looks, fires, got a man. What a completion near the goal line. Oh yes, Bronze with the grab and a key hookup right there. Defending in the secondary, safety Sylvester Toby.
He put that ball on the money.
Yes, he did. That was called pinpoint accuracy. 1st and goal. Looks like they're at the 3 on a nice strike delivered by Tyler Domino. So they deploy 2 to the left side. Everybody packed tight. Markey to the goal line. Touchdown Cougars. Levi Markey from 2 yards out. 32-10. And the score comes at the 5:04 mark of the fourth, and we'll look at it again.
Have a look at Markey going in there. Don't you try to tackle him high.
There was a very nice brush block right there at the point of attack.
Let's take a look
on
at
number
that.
1 right there.
Excellent.
Just enough. Just
Bronze.
enough.
Bronze with a block.
That was just enough of a block, and he got a good piece of Torres. Well, the PAT is a bullseye. 33-10, 5:04 left. We'll be right back. Cougars in charge.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Del Campo making every effort to put this game away. They drive 25 yards in 4 plays. Markey cashes it with a 2-yard burst in just 2:09. And on the evening, Domino, despite throwing 2 picks, 7 for 12 for 174, and he's got pay dirt on a couple of those. So right now, DC 33-10, set to kick off. There it is, to the 5. The return straight back up the middle, and not much doing there for Huerta Moore. Well, as you know, it's customary on the Hometown Sports Game of the Week to name our players of the game, and at the conclusion in our post-game segment, Rick Stewart will be interviewing our players of the game, and we have completed our ballots. And you know what? I think we've got a couple of dandies here.
Yes, we do. I think we not only have MVP guys, and we have possible all-city guys.
Yes, we do. 1st and 10 from the 22. Antelope under the gun. Play fake. Lucero's in trouble and thrown out of bounds on a hard tackle. Legal. And a message sent right there. Special delivery message. I guess it could be said that Simi, number 11, who is a dynamite defender off the bench and has some terrific stats, that was a hard throw down right there.
It was, and unfortunately, they've been hit by a number of penalties, but this is a hard-hitting Del Campo defense.
They lose 7 and get pushed back to the 14-yard line. Clock rolling with 4.5 to go. They toss and go left. Short yardage, time-consuming yardage as they get near the 20.
Well, Antelope looks a little tired. There's a lot of blue jerseys around the football right now.
3rd and still a virtual mile at this point in the game. They mark it as 3rd and 13, parked. So out to the near side, Alejandro Torres, wide receiver for Antelope. Lucero rushed hard, throws over the middle. He's got a short completion and a nice cut after the catch, but dogged pursuit to shut that down. Thomas with the catch, and he's a whale of a player.
Yes, he is. He's nonstop. He's all over the field. Terrific athlete. I certainly don't know how he is academically in the classroom, but I'll tell you this, I would certainly take a good look at him if I were in the recruiting.
Absolutely. His versatility is so impressive,
Yes.
and he's on the field every play.
Yes, he is.
So,
I like his attitude. I like his skill.
4th and 5, they set up in punt formation. Joseph, the single safety for Del Campo, but I have to see it to believe it. And they do punt. Big rush. End over end, and a flag comes out. Predictably, a loose football finally downed by Antelope. Another flag comes out. Boy, there's all kinds of lip service going on out there, and it's just dragging this game down. I think both head coaches really ought to step in and talk to their teams and
I agree with
cool
you,
their
Will.
jets.
You know, this game's in hand. You don't need any more flags. You know?
Dennis Ward. Those were mechanics, right?
Well, we did see some mechanics there.
Dennis on the job with his crew. And here's the outcome.
Well, it looks like the defense is going back on the field. They're going to get a first down.
Here's the call.
Illegal participation, 12 men on the field. On the receiving team, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. It will be first down.
Oh, what a whale of a game, huh? So you heard the report from our game referee, and more life
Amazing.
Breathed into the Revival resuscitation gear. Clock showing 2:53, and they changed the down and distance. 1st and 10, Antelope from their own 42. My. Well, we knew this would be a doozy, and it has been a doozy. Okay, back split. And that didn't fool anybody. 4 tacklers just wiped that out, and Roberts is having a tough night.
Well, you can understand Del Campo coming into this contest, Will, with only giving up 6 points per game. Of course, tonight, right now, giving up 10, so they're a little above their average.
Yes, they are, but I seem to recall a play in the first half that was a long touchdown where they only had 10 men on the field. Right now, Roberts, 18 tough yards on 12 carries, and they give him the pill again, and he's out to the original line of scrimmage. And there's some hard feelings going on out there. A testimony to the intensity of this rivalry and what has gone down in previous games. This series history has been tough.
Well, year in, year out, these two teams are right on top and so forth.
Clock rolling at 1:45, 3rd and 10 for the Titans. Looking uphill at a 33-10 deficit. Big opening, good burst by Roberts, one of his better runs.
Well, there's some blocks after the whistle going on, Will. You're absolutely right. And the officials have really got to be alert here, and both coaches have to.
They do. We don't want any unfortunate injuries at this stage generated by unnecessary retaliation or whatever you would classify it as, but this game's in the bag. I just would like to see it completed real clean, and I do see a number of substitutes on the field.
Well, there's almost a whole new defense on the field for the Cougars.
Left side running, Torres looking for
Torres, some big
daylight,
hits.
but it's totally dark.
Big hits.
And the ball goes over on downs.
Yeah, with only 49 seconds, let's see if Coach Mike's going to take the knee here and get this contest over.
Oh yeah, these final seconds will be chewed up. And let's take a look with the split screen. Beautiful job, crew. We've got Matt Ray left, Mike Domino and staff right. Two of the most formidable programs in the area. But tonight, Del Campo took care of business on homecoming night. And the outcome of this game is going to place Del Campo in sole possession of first place in the CVC.
Well, they got it settled a year later than we had that fiasco.
A mere formality on the field. You see everyone packed in tight for the anticipated kneel downs. Thank you very much, Tyler. Roll the clock again.
One more down.
And now some premature friendship congratulatory gestures. We'll see how the greeting line at the end is handled.
Well, we'll find that out shortly.
Another kneel down, clock rolling with 25. And as James Cagney said in white heat, the examination's over.
That's what he said, and he meant it.
A jubilant Del Campo crowd on homecoming night celebrating their team's impressive clutch victory this evening at Cougar Canyon in a 33-10 victory over the outstanding Antelope Titans. We see here calmer heads prevailing in the sportsmanship line in a hard-fought game that we knew would not be played any other way. And we see the entire Del Campo coaching staff scattered around the field, and that would be interesting to get a closer look at. But the players in formation, exchanging sportsmanship in what would have to be classified as a special game in its own right based on the circumstances going into it and the outcome going out. We want you to stick around because in our post-game segment, as we always do, Rick Stewart will be interviewing the players of the game and winning coach Mike Dimino. Don't wander off. We got lots more for you. Stick around.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Getting that college education, what are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts? Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget. That'd be cool. Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself? What are you gonna make of me?
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions.
I love it.
Cross-referencing travel sites. And booking all your flights with those...
Vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh. But now they're like... Aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
The verdict is in, And the decision is final this evening in Fair Oaks, where tonight at Del Campo High School, Cougar Canyon, the host Del Campo Cougars tonight prevailed by a final score of 33-10 over rival Antelope, and in doing so has taken sole possession of first place in the Capital Valley Conference in a ball game that was played with such intensity that it essentially warped a good share of the game. But in the end, superior play by the host Cougars is what turned this game from a 7-6 deficit to a 33-10 win going away.
Well, it certainly did. The Cougars were down 7-6, missing that PAT. Then in the second quarter, they responded like a good team does with 13 unanswered points. Okay? And the third quarter, Antelope kicks the field goal, is still in the football game. And then, of course, they get shut out in the fourth quarter. And despite very little time of possession, Del Campo comes through with some big plays in the end, both from offensive and defensive side of the football. And once again, their defense really rose to the occasion when they had to. And Tyler Domino, despite 2 picks tonight, came through with a couple of key passes when they really needed it, Will, at crunch time. And then the running, of course, of Markey and Cabral, particularly Cabral really coming probably the best game he played this season by far. And then defense anchored by Hunter and company. I mean, they were all over him. And those 2 running backs got very few yards in the second half particularly.
Oh, they got handled. No, they got shut down by a dynamite defense, and it essentially pulled the teeth of their best part of their game. And we do have the final stats tabulated. But back to your comment, Coach. Back to your comment, there were several key points where Del Campo remained poised and composed, and then clutch plays. And the 2 passes you're referring to, 2 pinpoint laser shots, one to opposite sidelines, one to the right, one to the left, to sustain. And I think it was that eventual composure that showed up in as much as Del Campo had to brush off a world record number of penalties and some tough penalties, 2 helmet-to-helmets, and still able to generate 33 in a wild ball game.
Well, yes, the intensity level was super high, Will, as you mentioned, and these 2 teams, there's a mutual respect. There's no love lost between them, and they go at it.
Well, let's take a look at executive statistician Gary Martin's final stats, and they are revealing.
Well, there you see it. The rushing yards, which Del Campo is known for, 145, despite the fact they had the ball very little in the second half. 52 total yards for Antelope has got to be a low for the season. Passing yards, 174 to 106. Total offense, 319. They almost double it. It is below Del Campo's average of 500 a game, and quite below Antelope's. First down, 16-12. Penalties is where Del Campo really got hurt, particularly in the third and fourth quarter, one after the other. Matter of fact, in the 78-yard drive of the Antelope, I believe 50 unofficially were aided by penalties. Now turnovers, 3 for Del Campo, 1, 2. And again, I'm sure he will learn a lesson, but there's no need for you to try to field the football in that situation. And I'm sure he knows. Look at the time of possession. This is amazing. 30 minutes of 48 by Antelope.
And that directly correlates to line number 3, total offense. Antelope ran 18 more plays, so DC got their 319 on only 42 plays.
That's a good point, Will. Very good, because normally they're having the ball 60 to 70 plays a game, going over 500 yards. So when you say they were held to 319, that's an interesting point because they only had 42 downs.
Well, those are revealing statistics, and in summation, it's clear that Del Campo dominated. We did fill out our ballots, and the players of the game have been selected, and I think we took two of the finest players in the entire section. From the Antelope Titans, two-way star, Gabe Thomas. He was all over the field all night long. I'd sure like to have him on my team. And Marshawn Hunter was dynamite tonight in all regards. Thomas and Hunter standing by with our Rick Stewart. Rick?
All righty, here with Gabe Thomas. Gabe, tremendous game tonight. I mean, first place on the line, you can't ask for much more than that.
Thank you, Coach.
Well, you played both ways. And the intensity that's out there on the field in something like this, how do you separate anything, offense, defense, or anything like that, or you just focus on every single play?
You just take one play at a time and focus it play by play.
What was the key out there? What were they doing on defense first and foremost that made such a difference?
They just knew where the ball was going, and they're just filling their gaps so we couldn't get there.
Okay, now you had several big plays in the game that at a certain time that would have made just a tremendous change in the game, but the big plays didn't happen. Was it a moment where you felt like there was a little bit of downness or anything like that?
No, we knew that we played the game 4 quarters, so we didn't expect anything less. So even if they got a big play, we're just moving on to the next one.
All right, Gabe. Well, one game in a season. You guys are going to bounce back, and you're going to be solid for the playoffs. So good luck. Congratulations on being our player of the game.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Gabe. All right, we're going to turn to Marshawn Hunter. Marshawn, Hungry Hunter. We got a graphic of you. We showed that, both offense and defense, some of the things you do. You were all over the place tonight, dude.
Yes, sir.
What was the key for you out there tonight?
The key for me is just like any other night. You know, I just got to give 100% on each play and just work my hardest and make sure that I'm doing my job and that the rest of the players are doing the job so that we get the plays that we need for the big ones.
What was the key offensively? Now, the line play looked like you guys at some points were really opening the holes, but they did have a good, solid defense. They plugged some stuff up. What was the key there late in the game?
It was just to grind it out and just power through it. You know, Coach called the power plays, and we just had to blast through all of them.
When you're on defense, what are you guys looking for what they're doing?
We're looking for, you know, their trickery plays and all their run plays and reverse plays and stuff like that, because those were their main plays that they were running, especially on their backside passes.
Feel better about being in first place all by yourself now?
Yes, sir.
How much does this take the sting out of last year?
Well, since I'm a transfer, you know, they've been telling me that about what happened last year and, you know, the whole last play of the game and the field goal and stuff. And we were just hungry. You know, we just had to go back and, you know, we felt that pain and we just had to just deliver it.
Do you think that there's any stopping you guys now? This is one of the strongest Del Campo teams we've had.
Right, yeah. I mean, Coach tells us, he gives us a lot of confidence. You know, he says that we're the fastest defense he ever had, we're the strongest defense we ever had, and that's just how we got to play every time.
I can't imagine being thrown around by some of you guys. I mean, I'm a lot older, so that's part of it. But, you know, you guys played tremendous out there, both sides of the ball, and you guys had it strapped on tonight. Congratulations on the victory.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Marshawn, best of luck the rest of the season. Coach, you had a tremendous game tonight. Good game plan. It straightened up in the second half for you, didn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. It took a little while.
Well, sometimes in a game like this, that's what it's going to take. You guys had a couple stops. You know, the interception by Joseph that really just killed their momentum. You know, you gave it away after they came down and got the field goal, and that was kind of a turning point after Joseph's interception.
Yeah, I think so too. And I mean, it was 19-7 at halftime, and it was 33-10. So they only scored 3 in the second half, and they started off with a kickoff. And you know, quite frankly, I think about 60 yards were by penalties.
Well, yeah, at least on that one drive, you had 45 yards at least right off the top of my head.
Yards off penalties, yeah. So we got to clean that up and get a little better next week, but it feels good to be 8-0.
Everything's firing on all cylinders. I mean, other than a couple of those things that, that are easily cleaned up.
Yeah, I think so. Got a lot of improvement, though.
Well, you'll always take that improvement.
We'll enjoy it for the next 20 years.
All right, Coach. Well, congratulations on the victory. First place. All right, Coach. All right, guys, we'll send it back upstairs.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Stewart. A huge victory for Del Campo this evening. And first of all, I have to compliment our 2 players of the game, 2 stellar student athletes, Gabe Thomas and Marshawn Hunter. Take a bow. I compliment you on your poise and conduct. As far as the outcome of the game, I think we spelled it out pretty well in all capital letters. The better team tonight prevailed decisively. And credit to Coach Ray's ball club, a younger team than he's had in the past few years. They've got a ways to go before they peak out, but it didn't happen tonight. And Coach Domino's ball club has that look that it can go very deep in what will have to be considered a dynamite D2 playoff field that'll be marked in a few weeks.
Well, certainly it will be. It will be a loaded, and just to name a two off the top of my head, Intercom and Sacramento High. I mean, we've seen them, and they are both fine football teams. Not to disregard others, but Del Campo can jump in there right with them and perhaps get a high seed if they win the next two, and assuming they can go 10-0 and get a high seed in that D2. And to me, you got to go one at a time, because in the playoffs it's one and done. So I believe that Coach Domino has a ball club that can go deep into those playoffs, and perhaps those top teams won't meet maybe till the third round.
I fully agree with all that, and lots of times, the margin of victory, the slender thread, ultimately falls upon the coaching ability. And Del Campo's in good shape. Coach Domino, one of the finest in the area, and it takes that type of control, veteran, experienced control, to keep a ball club together, even a very good ball club, because once you get into the postseason, it gets even more crazy. So, bright future as Del Campo takes the lead in the CVC, improving to 8-0, and certainly don't back off of Antelope. They took one on the chin tonight, but they are 7-1. That's a team that I really wouldn't want to be eager to play. They've got some dynamite players, and Coach Ray will get them back on track. But for Del Campo, coming up roses tonight on homecoming night, with the splendor, the color, the pageantry, all on Volume 10. What an evening for the hosts.
Very definitely. Homecoming, the big crowd here tonight, really behind them. And again, I just want to piggyback on what you said about Antelope and say this, that to me, they will get into playoffs, and perhaps at that time, a lot of ball clubs don't want to play them.
Oh, no, that would be, it'll shake out the way it should, but we had quite a battle tonight in Fair Oaks, and in a war to determine sole possession of first place in the Capital Valley Conference, the host, Del Campo Cougars, came up big and came up clutch in a 33-10 victory over tough Antelope. Access Sacramento and the Hometown Sports Game of the Week television crew wish to extend their deep appreciation to the Del Campo High School administration, particularly to Athletic Director Sharon Props, for their cooperation and assistance with the broadcast arrangements for this special sports presentation. The Hometown Sports Game of the Week is indeed a special presentation of Access Sacramento in association with Play-by-Play Sports Productions. For the Imperator, Jim Domino, Rick Stewart, our executive statistician Gary Martin, and game director Ronicia Harris, and the entire Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast crew, I'm Will James. We thank you for joining us and look forward to the next occasion when we can get together. So long, everyone.
This program from Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week is available for purchase on DVD. For more information, call Access Sacramento, 916-456-8600, extension 0. This has been a Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast from Access Sacramento. This program is funded in part by a grant from the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission.